record on this. Hare Krishna, everybody can hear. So we'll get started. So we spent till now 2 sessions. First session, we spoke about in search of happiness. What is real happiness? What are the kind of problems we are going through? And is the happiness temporary or permanent? We just try to contemplate a little bit from that point of view. And in the last session, we jumped from material happiness into trying to understand who is God. I mean, in the sense, is there God? What is the general definition of God by various people? What is the right definition of God as per Bhagavad Gita? Then we try to understand that the definition of God is basically talking about like supreme controller, who is source of everything, and he is supreme enjoyer. So everything is coming from him. He is sarva karana karanam, cause of all causes. So we try to understand why people deny God, all the way trying to understand what is the general definition of God by everyone, and concluded what is the right definition of God. Now today, Hare Krishna, please come. So today we wanted to understand a topic which is why believe in scriptures, or is the scriptures word of God? Because right from our childhood, the moment we talk about anything relating to bhakti or anything relating to Sanatana Dharma, it's always connected to one or the other scripture. But we often get confused. There are so many scriptures, which one to go through, what is right, what is wrong, all kinds of confusion we all had. So today we'll try to spend some time to understand this one. But before that, I thought now, last 2 weeks, because we are not familiar with each one of us, we tried to go a little slow. But from today onwards, I wanted to follow the actual process, which is doing the invocation prayer, singing one bhajan, seeking permission from Guru and Acharyas, so that we can speak about the spiritual subjects. Ideally, whenever we speak about material subjects, we don't need to seek anybody's permission. We feel like we know everything and we start talking. For example, I used to teach before. I'm a chartered accountant by my academics. Many years ago, I used to teach costing, accounts, and all subjects to the students. I don't think I never prayed before I started teaching. I was just started, good morning, everyone, or good evening, everyone, and started talking the subject. But when it comes to spiritual subjects, it is very, very important that we seek the permission of Guru and the God. Then only we'll be able to speak. And if I think I am speaking, if I think I know everything, I am the biggest fool on the earth. So what I am trying to follow is, I am not trying to say anything on my own. As I said repeatedly, we are talking everything from Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'm like a Xerox machine, trying to repeat what I learned before. I'm not producing anything. We are trying to understand from the previous acharyas, understand them, and then put them in easy way for you to understand, maybe adding some examples here and there. But the source should never be modified. That is what we call it as a parampara. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. So everybody online, can you see the screen? Can one of you respond if you're able to see the screen? Okay. So I got now the prayers both in English and Telugu, so that whichever language we follow, I could not put Hindi into that one, because knowing everybody is only English and Telugu, we'll go like that one. So it will take few weeks for everybody to be comfortable. Maybe some of you are comfortable with the prayers, others who are not comfortable. My suggestion is, I will say, you repeat, and then within 2 weeks we will all understand, then we can sing together. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Kr Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prushabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is basically Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya. Basically this prayer is saying, I am in ignorance. Ajnanatimirandasya. Please take me from ignorance to knowledge. That's the first prayer. Then we are trying to pray all the Guru Parampara. Then we are praying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Sri Krishna in the Kali Yuga. We'll understand more about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu little later. Then we try to pray to Sri Krishna, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho. Then we also pray to Srimati Radharani, which is Radha Kanta, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Vrishabhanusute Devi. And then we also pray the Panchatattva. We will understand more, I'll explain. And then finally the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Anybody knows why do we lift hand when we say Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Why do we lift hands? Huh? Surrender. So simple example is, you have a small child. She's running around. You are busy with something. You're cooking or you're doing something. The child calls you Mama, Mama so many times. Amma. We don't listen. But the child comes near and says like this. What will you do? You will immediately stop doing the work and immediately take the child. So when we lift the hands, so actually the deeper meaning is what Anjireddy Prabhu said, which is surrender. But practically we are asking Krishna, you are my soul. Can you lift me? Then Krishna will look at us. Until then, he is busy. He has what? Millions and millions and crores of people in unlimited universes. Why does he need to look at me? This so minuscule Satya Devata here, in so small. Why does Lord Krishna, who is Lord of all Lords, why does he need to look at me? Similarly, everybody, such an insignificant living being, why does he need to look at me? By your surrender and prayer, he will look at you. Let's continue. There are some more prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll try to learn. Narayanam Namaskruchya Naranchaiva Narottamam देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवतिर्नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमा प्रदायते। कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये। नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय गोब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So before knowing and now knowing, now by raising hands, we have that feeling in our heart. Krishna, please lift me up. So I wanted to sing a small bhajan. We'll also explain meaning. Bhajahu re mana Sri Nandanandana. Bhajahu re mana Sri Nandanandana. Abhaya charanara vindare. Abhaya charanara vindare. Bhajahu re mana Sri Nandanandana. Bhajahu re mana Sri Nandanandana. Abhaya charanara vindare. Abhaya charanara vindare. Durlabha manava janama satsange. Durlabha manava janama satsange. Taro ye bhava sindhure. Taro ye bhava sindhure. Sita tapa bata barisana. Sita tapa bata barisana. Edina jamini jagire. Edina jamini jagire. Bifale se vinu krupana durajana. Bifale se vinu krupana durajana. Chapala subalaga lagire. Chapala subalaga lagire. Edana yauvana putra parijana. ఏదన యౌవన పుత్ర పరిజన ఈతే కియాచే పరతి రే ఈతే కియాచే పరతి రే కామల దళ జల జీవన తళమల కామల దళ జల జీవన తళమల భజహు హరిపద నీతి రే భజహు హరిపద నీతి రే శ్రవణ కీర్తన స్మరణ వందన పాద సేవన దాస్య రే దాస్య రే శ్రవణ కీర్తన స్మరణ వందన శ్రవణ కీర్తన స్మరణ వందన పాద సేవన దాస్య రే పాద సేవన దాస్య రే పూజన సఖి జన ఆత్మ నివేదన పూజన సఖి జన ఆత్మ నివేదన గోవింద దాస అభిలాష రే గోవింద దాస అభిలాష రే భజహు రే మన శ్రీనందనందన అభయ చరణారవింద రే భజహు రే మన శ్రీనందనందన అభయ చరణారవింద రే హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ 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 హరే 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 రామ 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 హరే హరే. Thank you. I hope the bhajan was sweet. I could not sing properly, but the bhajan is very sweet. Let me tell you, how much ever we talk about philosophy, tons of philosophy is less than ounce of Harinama Sankirtan. I speak for 20 hours non-stop. That is less than saying Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for 5 minutes. So everything is in the mantra. But before we develop the love for the mantra, we are trying to go step by step to understand the whole philosophy. Then eventually we'll develop that love for the God. So this song is very, very beautiful because it gives a nice meaning. Oh mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of the Nanda, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons. By associating with saintly people, devotees, we can cross over this ocean of birth and death. We discussed about Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi in our first session. The solution is in the second line. By associating with great devotees of Krishna, we can cross over this ocean of birth and death. Very simple. Krishna is not telling, leave family, go to Himalayas, dig a cave, do tapas for so many thousands of years. No, Krishna is making it life very simple. You don't need to go anywhere. Next, both in the day and night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and cold, wind and the rain. We all know about it. So many problems we all go through. There is some happiness, problem. This repeats. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. Just for little happiness, we are serving so many people, boss, family, and all kinds of things. But we forget to serve the eternal master. That's what this song is reminding us. Next 2 lines. What assurance of real happiness is there in one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? Final ga a call vachinappudu evarana apagalra? Our property, people, son, name, fame, mana దగ్గర ఉన్నవన్నీ మూట కట్టినా సరే, Krishna, can you extend my life by 10 more minutes? Can you just extend by 10 more minutes? Appudu COVID time lo, there was one video which has come. One lady was throwing money, dollars in the hospital like this, throwing on the some maybe $10,000, 20,000, throwing, saying that, please give me life. So there is one, koti mandi vaidhyulu vachinanu, they cannot extend even one. Forgive me, doctors. Please don't mind for making this statement. I'm not undermining doctors. You're all representatives of God. But I'm just telling, koti vaidhyulu vachina, they cannot extend by 1 more minute. If Krishna decides to snap, take us away. So that's what this sloka is telling. This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. So that's what is the meaning. It is a desire and great longing of Govinda Dasa to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, Navavida bhakti, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Saketvam, Atmanivedanam. In the 9 processes of bhakti, Govinda Dasa is one of the great devotees. He says, let this my life go into the 9 processes of bhakti, then finally I can go to the God. That's what Govinda Dasa Abhilasha, that's his prayer. Word, it's all Sanskrit. We can slowly try to understand. Is the meaning very deep? No? I think we should reflect on this meaning later as well. Okay, now we are going to jump into our today's topic. Now we have the permission of all acharyas to discuss this deep topic. So are all scriptures word of God? Today we discussed in our first session, there are at least 50 Bhagavad Gita copies, or maybe 1,000 people have written Bhagavad Gitas. Which is the word of the God? Ramayana, there are again thousands. Upanishads, so many people have written. You name any scripture, so many people have written. Is everything written by God? Or is it written by his authorized representatives? Which book should I follow? And how do we know that these Shastras are taken care? People say that, no, this was written millions of years ago. How do I know that one? My 20 years back, our books and papers in our home itself, they are almost like gone. If you don't touch them, termites come in, all kinds of things happen. So how do we ensure that millions of years back books are still there? What is the guarantee that it is not written by somebody else? Only God has written. All these questions bother our mind. May not happen on day one. It again based on the consciousness of the people. As I said repeatedly, if these questions are answered in our previous life, this life we won't have that questions. Then we cross that question and probably another question might come up. So it is a life after journey. So let's make the best use of this life, get all questions answered in this life, so that when we are next life, if we continue again as a human, at least we start from day one without any questions. Day one, Govinda Dasa Abhilasha, Navavida Bhakti. We don't need to discuss who is God, who am I, why is death. All questions are answered. Day one, Hare Krishna. We start chanting, right? Each one of us are in a different stage of consciousness development. Not everybody is in the same state, right? Many of you might be a million times better than me. I'm not better guy by sitting here. I'm just trying to explain what I learned. Okay, is scripture a word of God? So earlier, the moment I say scripture, what comes into the mind? Talapatra Grandhala. The moment I say scripture, that's what comes into the mind. Nobody thinks about this big book. This is what comes into the mind. They're all written by sages. Now we don't need to have those manual scripts. Everything is printed properly like books. We have PDF copies, like Amazon readers and online EPUBs. We can read everywhere. Everything is at the click of a button now. All 18 Puranas are also at the click of a button. So these are the things we talk, that they are written by people, not by God. Maybe people change the knowledge. These all questions come into the picture. The first and fundamental thing is about faith. Do we have faith? We discussed in the last session that most important thing is I don't have faith, but the solution to get faith is put some little faith. We discussed about business. Business lo sampadichalante, we need to start a capital. That capital has to be money. Then only you will get money. Similarly, to get faith, we have to invest little faith, maybe 1% faith. Krishna will take us to 99% faith. That is his job. But our job is put 1% faith and listen. And then there are important qualities for a person to learn scriptures. We discussed in one Bhagavad Gita sloka. I think the first sloka we all learned. Tatvitti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So basically, what is that sloka telling? If we have to learn scripture, we have to approach one spiritual master who is a Tattvadarshi, not anybody. We don't decide the person by the length of the beard or the kind of dress they are wearing, right? Tattvadarshi, has he realized God? Only those people we need to approach. Then we need to approach them with humble way, question them, learn from them. We don't question them from a challenging point of view. Neekem telsu. No, I don't know this one. Can you please explain? Humility doesn't mean that we speak softly, very nicely, Hare Krishna. Humility doesn't mean that. Humility means we have eagerness to learn. Basically, I post a question. If I don't get an answer, I don't feel like sleeping. Like that question should bother us. And then we have a respect for the teacher. And we also need to have respect for Krishna. Krishna, it is you who arranged this meeting. I have not planned for this one. For example, this SSR session in Green Grace is planned by Krishna, not by me. Krishna wanted to connect some of the souls in this building. Maybe somebody in this building, somebody online. Krishna had some plan to connect. So he inspired within my heart, can you do this session? And he inspired all your hearts, why don't you attend that session? That is how he establishes connection, right? So the whole credit goes to him only. So this is what is happening. Some people say that, no, these scriptures are written in Sanskrit. If I ask any question, these pujaris or Vedic Pandits are going to recite very big Vedic hymns in ups and downs in meter, which I cannot understand a single word. So let me stay away. That is some people's mind. So I cannot understand scriptures because they are all in Sanskrit. And we discussed already. There are so many literatures. And now today's thing is everybody feels that my scripture is correct. My understanding is correct. Nobody wants to agree that maybe all these years I'm trying to follow something which is not a correct path. Maybe this is a correct path. Maybe this is a higher path. People are not open. People have these rigid minds. All of us have these rigid minds. What I know is correct. Let's not debate. You agree to me. I am not going to agree to you. This is the kind of thing. But the real submissive nature is, if we understand there is something higher, we have to surrender. Maybe we might know so much. I have been also reading last 20 years, many books written by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, Paramahamsa Yogananda, and Shivananda Ashram, then Sai Charitra and Datta Charitra, different books, different authors, different philosophies I'm trying to follow for many years. But then I understood this path, what we are now following, which is in the Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya, ISKCON, as a higher level organization, but which is coming from the Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya. Here, all answers are answered. And it is now talking about even all what we know till now is 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Antena manaku telisindi. Dharma, adi kuda అర్థం చేసుకోవడానికి టైం పడుతుంది. బట్ మనకు జనరల్గా వాట్ ఎవర్ వి రీడ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బుక్ ఇస్ ధర్మ అర్థ కామ మోక్ష. దిస్ సాంప్రదాయ శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం టాక్స్ అబౌట్ 5th పురుషార్థ, నాట్ ధర్మ అర్థ కామ, 5th పురుషార్థ, సరెండర్ టు గాడ్, భక్తి పాత్, నాట్ ధర్మ, నాట్ అర్థ, నాట్ కామ, నాట్ మోక్ష, నాట్ ఈవెన్ మోక్ష. I don't want even moksha liberation. All I want is nirantara seva. I want bhakti. I want seva at the lotus feet of the Radha and Krishna. That is what this path talks about. We'll slowly understand why is bhakti higher than all these things. As we go, we'll understand. Maybe now theoretically you can accept that bhakti is higher than. In fact, chapter 12, Krishna, when Arjuna asks, there are so many paths, I'm confused. Which path should I follow? Krishna makes it very crystal clear. There are so many paths. It might follow to different people, but the path which is easiest, safest, fastest, guaranteed is bhakti path. Easiest, safest, fastest, guaranteed. 4 adjectives I'm using. We can use more adjectives. All 4. He's saying that Krishna is saying bhakti path is higher. Surrender. Then Arjuna understood that one. Finally, he said, surrender. What is final instruction of Lord Krishna? Final instruction of Lord Krishna. After that, he did not say anything. Sarva dharman parichyatya mamekam sharanam. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Sarva dharman parichyatya. Of course, it takes so much time for us to even get to that stage. It might happen in 1 life, it might happen in 100 lives. But finally, Krishna is saying, come to that one. Sarva dharman parichyatya. Leave all the kinds of kichdi you have in your mind Whatever nonsense you have in your mind, which you have been acquiring since many years and many lifetimes, leave all that aside, open mind, put me inside. Open your heart, put me inside your heart. And it's very difficult to put Krishna inside the heart because he's in the Tribangi form. Tribangi. No, because he's not like straight to put it inside. He's in the Tribangi, three-bend form. But the good thing is once he goes inside, he won't easily come out because he's in the Tribangi form. It's very difficult to get him into the heart. But once he comes, that's it. So let's continue talking. So there are more of this. So Vedic scriptures are also confusing. I'm just first talking about all the confusions and questions in our mind. One Veda talks about this one. One book says this God is the highest. Ganesha is the highest. Another book says Mata is the highest. Another book says Krishna is the highest. Why are these books are saying like this, confusing all kinds of things? And some people say they have all the rituals. Veda means ritual. Do that one, do so. I'm confused. This is what also people get into the mind. And again, we have some confusions like all these books are contradicting to each other. In one book, they say like this. Another book, they say like this. Actually, it is not contradictions. They are all basically based on time, place, and circumstance, and based on our level of consciousness. If we are ready, Krishna will reveal the highest truth. If we are not ready, we'll get the basic truth. Right? We will understand more that one. Please. Different paths. Yeah. So karma, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Hi. Correct.
Person cannot follow Bhakti all day. Going deeper into it. So suppose a housewife is simple house. While cooking, she might think that she is doing karma.
Yes.
While praying to God in the altar, she'll think it's in the...
No. That's where is our deep. We discussed last time. Bhakti Marga, we will understand more over a period of these sessions. But since you asked this question, I'll explain you. Doing everything for Krishna is Bhakti Marga. Does it mean that we leave everything in the work, morning 4 o'clock, we go sit in the puja room, forget about children, forget about husband, forget about wife, office, from morning 4 o'clock to night 10 o'clock, if I sit in puja room, that is not Bhakti Marga. Doing everything for Krishna, understanding Krishna is supreme behind, is Bhakti Marga. We discussed last time. You are cooking full meal. 10 items you are cooking today morning. It will take 6 hours in the kitchen, example. But that 6 hours you are thinking about Krishna, and finally you cook all the 10 items and offer it to Krishna, then the whole family eats. That is Bhakti. That cooking has become like Bhakti. You are preparing garland for Krishna. It took 1 hour to prepare the garland. Making garland is Bhakti. You are singing in the evening. You sit for some time and read Srimad Bhagavatam. Or you are reading Bhagavad Gita. Reading Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti. Cooking is Bhakti. Singing for Krishna is Bhakti. Right? I am now conducting this session. Why am I trying to conduct this session? To please Krishna. There is an inspiration in the heart to share this knowledge. And in the process, I also learn something from all of you. So this 1.5 hour session becomes a Bhakti. Preparing a PowerPoint presentation becomes a Bhakti. It might find, sometimes initially I find like, what are you talking? Preparing a PPT is Bhakti? When somebody said this one, I had this question. Why is preparing a PPT is Bhakti? Preparing a PPT is Bhakti because you are using that for Krishna. If I prepare a PPT and make an office presentation, probably that may not be directly Bhakti. That also we can connect to Bhakti. We'll talk about it. But I'm trying to come to the whole conclusion of all the 12 sessions is what we discussed in the last 5 minutes. The conclusion of all 12 sessions is how do we work for Krishna? Is that helpful, Mataji?
On all speaking to Krishna as center.
Yes.
And go all over.
Yeah.
Is it necessary?
We will discuss more because before that we need to understand what is Karma Marga, what is Jnana Marga, what is Ashtanga Yoga. We need to understand all the yoga paths and then come to Bhakti Marga, and we'll go step by step. There is one exclusive session called What is Real Yoga. There we'll spend 2 hours talking about all these 4 paths, which is the essence of Gita. Right? Now, Vedic literature. Veda means with means to know. So Veda is talking about something to know, knowable. To do anything, any electronic gadget, I got a new TV some months ago. I'm sure we need to have a manual to understand all the features to it, right? Or they have some new robotic surgery unit, which has come into, I'm sure you need to understand how the robotic surgery unit need to be used, and new equipment has come, how to use, what are the precautions to be taken, all kinds of things. You need to read that manual. Then only you'll be able to use that machine, right? Okay, Vikram Garu, if I can ask a personal question, how old are you? 49. So this body is a machine given by Krishna. 49 years you are using. Did you refer to any manual? No. Did any one of us refer to this manual Krishna has given called Bhagavad Gita? He said, use this manual for your life. We buy a small 500 rupees electronic item. Immediately we download the manual, read whole night how to use this on this button, that button, all features we study. Before buying a smartphone, I have done sometimes 20 days research also, comparing so many smartphones, this feature, that feature, all kinds of things. But this life, I am 51 now. I never studied Bhagavad Gita properly to understand how to use this machine. Kshetra, this machine, how to use that one, Krishna is telling. So for everything we need a manual, right? So Vedas, Bhagavad Gitas, all these are like manual. Manusmriti, you heard that statement, right? Manusmriti, explaining about how the life need to be maintained and all kinds of things, relations, husband, wife, children, what needs to be done. All those things are there in Manusmriti. That's also like a manual. I know today if we follow Manusmriti, it's very difficult to follow in today's age, time, circumstance. But basically that's like a manual. So the manual for the material world is basically, once we know the Gita, we start understanding who am I, who is God, what is my relation between me and God, what is the approach to the God. Like Lakshmi Garu asked, there are so many paths. Which path is the best path? Even in that path, how to approach God? What is the guarantee that Krishna will finally accept us? What is Krishna saying? Which path he is endorsing? All these questions are answered in the Gita, right? So what is modern man thinking? All of us generally. Modern man is thinking, I'll figure out my life. I'll figure out how I want to lead my life. I've been given this birth. I have been born into a certain family. I have some facilities. It could be money, wealth, name, fame, whatever are available. I'll follow my way. I will decide my path. Is a general thinking of people. And we discussed about people are mostly busy in Ahara Nidra Bhayam Maithunamcha. Ahara Nidra Bhayam Maithunamcha. This cycle is going on since time immemorial, if I can use the word. We don't know how many lives we have taken. It's very difficult. Only Krishna knows. Maximum we go to one astrologer, he might tell last life. In the last life you did this one, that's why you are having this karma, you can do this one. But what did I do 100 lives back? I don't know, only Krishna knows. So modern man is again thinking there is no higher purpose. That's it. Ahara Nidra Bhayam Naidunancha, Jindagi na milegi dubara, let's enjoy life, is the modern man thinking. So as somebody who is trying to follow ancient process is, I want to live my life based on following the higher purpose. My life is not Ahara Nidra Bhayam Naidunancha, there is something, no, Dharmo hi eko, Dharmo hi tesham, Adhiko Vishesho. There is something higher than all these four kinds of things. So let me serve God. Let me follow religion. Okay. You know what is the definition of religion? We will anyway discuss further, but I just want to understand what is definition of religion as per your understanding. I know last time we tried to touch a little bit about religion versus Sanatana Dharma. We tried to discuss. What is the definition as per what you understand?
Set of rules.
Set of rules. Okay. Anything else? What is religion? అదేంటండి ఇన్నాళ్ళ నుంచి ఫాలో అవుతున్నా వాట్ ఈస్ రిలీజియన్ అంటే సడన్ గా సైలెన్స్ వచ్చింది, లేకపోతే ఏం సమాధానం చెప్తే ఈయన ఏమంటాడని ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు. వాట్ ఈస్ రిలీజియన్?
Western people had actually tried to use religion, but for us it is dharma.
Dharma. Correct. You are absolutely right. So religion is basically like a set of processes, procedures which are described for the higher purpose. When we forget the higher purpose and we follow only the religious things, that's where we call it as ritual. When we keep the higher purpose in mind, we call it spiritual. We discussed kada ritual ki spiritual ki difference enti annadi. So that's what happens. So actually religion has two fundamental things. Jivadaya Nama Ruchi. Jivadaya Nama Ruchi. Jivadaya, compassion towards fellow living beings, humans, animals, anything. Nama Ruchi means Bhagavantudu Nama మీద ఇష్టం కలగాలి. ఏ రిలీజియన్ అయితే ఈ రెండు ప్రపోజ్ చేస్తుందో అది సరైన రిలీజియన్. ఐ విల్ నాట్ టేక్ ఎనీ నేమ్స్. యూ కెన్ మేక్ యువర్ ఓన్ టెస్ట్. రిలీజియన్ అంటే జీవదయ నామరుచి. ఈ రెండు మనకు వచ్చినాయా రాలేదా? మనకు వస్తే మన రిలీజియన్ అర్థమైనట్టు, మనకి రాలేదు అంటే రిలీజియన్ మనకు అర్థం కానట్టు లేదా మనం పాటించినట్టు. దట్ ఈస్ ద డెఫినేషన్. ఎనీబడి ఆర్గ్యూస్? జీవదయ నామరుచి. జీవదయ మీన్స్ కంపాషన్ టువర్డ్స్ ఆల్ ద లివింగ్ బీయింగ్స్. Namaruchi means you have taste for God's name. If I say Hare Krishna, today I don't have any love for that name. Andaru anumantunnaru antunna. But when you have love, you will say it spontaneously. You will say it out of love, kada. That is called as Namaruchi. If the religion is not giving you these two things, it is not a religion as per the definition of Sanatana Dharma. Let's continue. So there are so many Vedas. We all know that one, no? 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. Actually, one life is not enough to understand the Vedas. We need probably many lives to understand the Vedas. And Vedas have so many, like Rig Veda is all talking about so many mantras. So many mantras. Sama Veda is all about like in which meter to sing and how to sing, and lot of chanting and all these things are there. Yajur Veda is all rituals. Whenever we are trying to do any yajna, it is all defined as per the Yajur Veda. So that's why you see like no Sama Veda Shanmuga Sharma ano oka peru vinta. Ante entante ayana Shama Vedallo he is an expert. We see Yajur Veda Shastri garu Yadulu garu antaru anamata. Oka naaku telisina ayana oka annaru. So he knows Yajur Veda properly. Ye yajnam cheyalanna they follow that Yajur Veda. They know how to do, how to start, how to do, and all kinds of things. You know, many times we try to follow some yajna or something, but it doesn't give good results sometimes. Why, you know? We don't follow accordingly. Even the Brahma, the Pujari Brahma, who is sitting there, also is not doing properly. Sometimes for some yajnas, the Pujari is supposed to fast for 24 hours. He is not supposed to eat anything until the whole puja is over and all kinds of things. Nowadays, how many Pujaris are in that position to do that kind of thing? Or let's say we are not supposed to eat and sit for some certain number of hours. Before doing yajna, you are supposed to do some mantra chanting for these many hours. All these things are there. మన యజ్ఞ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే పంతులు గారు వచ్చారా, ఎప్పుడు అయిపోయింది, ఎప్పుడు ప్రసాదం తీసుకుంటాం. ఇంకెంతసేపు పంతులు గారు, నాకు ఆఫీస్ పని ఉంది, వెళ్ళాలి, తొందరగా కంప్లీట్ చేసేయండి, కొన్ని మంత్రాలు తగ్గించేయండి, మీరు 11 వరకు అంటే చాలా కష్టం, 9:30లో గట్ల లేపేయండి. ఆ పంతులు గారు కూడా ఇవాళ ఏమైపోయారంటే మిమ్మల్ని బాధ పెట్టకూడదని ఆయన కూడా మధ్యలో కొన్ని స్కిప్ చేసేసి 9:30 కంప్లీట్ చేసేస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే ఆయన ఒకవేళ పంతులు గారు కనుక ఇఫ్ ఈ సేస్ ఐ విల్ ఫాలో స్ట్రిక్ట్లీ అంటే మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, పంతులు గారిని మార్చేస్తాం. చెప్పండి. యాక్చువల్గా మనం తెలుసుకొని ఎత్తుక్కొని కూర్చోపెట్టాలండి. కూర్చోపెట్టాక క్వశ్చన్ చేయకూడదు. కూర్చోపెట్టక ముందు వీ కెన్ ఆస్క్ ఆల్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్. తెలుసుకోవచ్చు ఆయనకి అర్హత ఉందా, ఆయన పద్ధతిగా ఫాలో అవుతారా, ఆయన ఇంట్లో అనుష్ఠానం చేస్తారా, లేకపోతే ఆ పంతులు గారు బయటికి వెళ్ళి డ్రింక్ చేస్తారా, సిగరెట్ తాగుతారా, లేకపోతే పద్ధతి ఫాలో అవుతున్నారా లేదా, అన్నీ తెలుసుకోవాలి. తెలుసుకున్నాక పలానా పంతులు గారు పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఉన్నారని తెలిసినప్పుడు ఇంకా ఆయన వచ్చి అక్కడ కూర్చున్నాక ఆయనకు వచ్చా రాదని మనం క్వశ్చన్ చేయకూడదు. ఎలా చేయాలండి, ఇది ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నారండి, దీని అర్థం ఏంటండి అని తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. తెలుసుకోవడం కాదు, ఛాలెంజ్ చేయకూడదు. సిమిలర్లీ గురు ఆల్సో లైక్ దట్ ఓన్లీ. బిఫోర్ సెలెక్టింగ్ ఏ గురు వీ హ్యావ్ టు బి ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్లీ కేర్ఫుల్. ఈజ్ he the right guru? We will discuss that more little bit today, and next topic also we'll discuss more. Is he the right guru? But ఒకసారి సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాక సరెండర్. ఇంకా రోజు ఈయన కరెక్టా కాదా, ఈయన పట్టుకుంటే నన్ను కృష్ణుడి దగ్గర తీసుకెళ్దా, అనవసరంగా కంగారు పడి ఈ గురువుని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేశాను, వాళ్ళందరూ వేరే గురువుని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేశారు, ఐ థింక్ నేను తప్పుట్లో ఉన్నట్టున్నాను, మారిపోతే బెటర్, పార్టీ మార్చేస్తే బెటర్ అని అనుకుంటే వీ వోంట్ గెట్ ద ఫైనల్ రిజల్ట్స్. బట్ అంటిల్ యూ సెలెక్ట్ వీ ఆల్ హ్యావ్ టు బి ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్లీ కేర్ఫుల్. శాస్త్ర ఇస్ టెల్లింగ్ అండి, అవర్ శాస్త్రాస్ ఆర్ టెల్లింగ్ డోంట్ ఫాలో ఎనీథింగ్ బ్లైండ్లీ. ఆస్క్, క్వశ్చన్, అండర్స్టాండ్, యాక్సెప్ట్, దెన్ సరెండర్. Whereas many other religions, no rettamak you have to follow. మన రిలీజియన్లో there is so much of choice. ఆ చాయిస్ ఎంత ఎక్కువైపోయిందంటే మనం దేవుణ్ణే మర్చిపోతున్నాం. అసలు వద్దు అన్నంత వరకు వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాం. బికాస్ హీ హెస్ గివెన్ ఎ చాయిస్. కృష్ణ హెస్ గివెన్ ఎస్ ఫ్రీ విల్. సో ఆ ఫ్రీ విల్ తోటి ఎలా ఫాలో అవ్వాలన్న ఫ్రీ విల్ని ఫైనల్గా తీసుకెళ్ళి నాకు నువ్వు అసలు అవసరం లేదు కృష్ణ, గాడ్ హెస్ బికమ్ ఆప్షనల్ ఇన్ అవర్ లైఫ్. అవునండి, చాలా మందికి గాడ్ హెస్ బికమ్ ఆప్షనల్ ఇన్ అవర్ లైఫ్. సో నాకు జీతం ఉంది, మంచి ఉద్యోగం ఉంది, ఫ్యామిలీ బాగున్నారు, 2 పిల్లలు ఉన్నారు, అంతా బాగుంది, గ్రీన్ గ్రేస్ అపార్ట్మెంట్స్లో మంచి ఫ్లాట్ ఉంది, 5-6 ఏసీలు ఉన్నాయి, మంచి కార్ ఉంది, వైఫ్కో కార్ ఉంది, పిల్లలు ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్లో చదువుకుంటున్నారు, ప్రమోషన్ బాగుంది, 24 గంటలు కరెంట్ ఉంది, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ ఉంది, వాటర్ ఉంది, జొమాటో ఉంది, స్విగ్గీ ఉంది, అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. ఇంకా దేవుడు ఎందుకు? అన్నీ జరుగుతున్నాయి కదా, ఇంకా నాకు భగవంతుడితో అవసరం ఏంటి? ఈ క్వశ్చన్ వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. సమ్ పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ ఆస్క్డ్ మీ, అన్నీ బాగున్నాయి, ఇంకెందుకంటే భగవంతుడు ఏం చేస్తాడని ఆయన ఎక్స్ట్రాగా వచ్చి, అన్నీ నాకు నడుస్తున్నాయి కదా, ఏమన్నా అవసరం అయితే అడుగుదానండి, కష్టం వస్తే వీల్ గో అండ్ నాక్ హిస్ డోర్, బట్ అంతా బాగున్నప్పుడు ఆయనతో నాకు సంబంధం లేదు. దిస్ ఈజ్ అవర్ రాంగ్ థింకింగ్. యా, వీ కెన్ సీ అవర్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇన్ మిర్రర్. శాస్త్ర ఈజ్ లైక్ ఎ మిర్రర్. మన నేచర్ మనకి ఇలా చూపిస్తుంది అనమాట. మిర్రర్లో మనం చూసుకుంటే మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నామో తెలుస్తుంటుంది. వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాక్టికల్ థింగ్ ఇస్, మన శాస్త్ర చదవంగానే వి స్టార్ట్ అప్లయింగ్ ఆన్ అదర్స్. మన శాస్త్ర చదవంగానే వి స్టార్ట్ అప్లయింగ్ ఆన్ అదర్స్. We should apply for ourselves. Whenever we see into the mirror, when we also see hairstyle, we see our dress, everything baunda leda, but we don't see our heart. We have to start seeing in our heart whenever we look into this mirror. How do we correct ourselves? Am I in the right path? We only see the external part. Anyway, so let's continue. Whatever I'm saying, it's not for you. It's applicable to me as well. Whenever I see into the mirror, I also need to be conscious. Am I better than yesterday? What is the one change I made from yesterday to today? Like that. So there are so many Puranas. How many Puranas are there? 18 Puranas are there. There are Upapuranas are there. I just tell you one thing. Bhagavatam has how many slokas? 18,000 slokas. I forgot exactly. Skanda Purana has 81,100 slokas. So Bhagavatam, ISKCON Bhagavatam, which is a set of 18 books, if we read for 2 hours every day, it will take 2 years to complete. If you read half an hour a day, it will take 7 years to complete. Now, if I want to read Skanda Purana, you can imagine 81,100 slokas. But if somebody says, I just want to sit and read all the 18 Puranas, we have to call Krishna and ask, can you please extend my life by 200 years? There is no other choice. Because by the time we start thinking about to read all these things itself, we'll touch 40, 50. Rare people who read these Puranas at the age of 5 or 10 or 12 or something. But many of us try to come to bhakti or something like at midlife. Maybe because of midlife crisis, we come to bhakti, right? So now, any questions so far on the online team? Sorry, I haven't asked you. Online no vallaki emana questions unnaya so far what we discussed? Is that all clear? Is the flow clear? I hope, am I audible?
Yeah. Satyajit garu, everything is fine అండి.
Okay అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ. చెప్పండి శ్రీనివాస్ గారు. యా,
Right Brahmana, right?
yes,
Because
correct.
Very, very good.
Understand.
Brahmana, so people are Brahmana. Maybe more than 90% are,
I understood. Maybe if I can. Yeah.
all these say in this Kaliga, how to find the right Brahmana, right Guru?
In fact, 2 sessions from now, exclusively we are going to spend 2 hours. Who is Guru as per the Shastras, and do I need one is the topic where we'll talk elaborately. But if I can give you one answer now, let's say our children, we have to join them in a school. There are so many schools in Hyderabad, but do we blindly put our children in any school? We do a lot of research, right? We go to Google, find out, we speak to different people, we do get reviews, we do all kinds of research, and then put our children in a school. Similarly, if you want to buy a smartphone, we do so much research to buy a smartphone. But when it comes to understanding a Brahmana or when it comes to a Guru, we don't find. We don't put that effort because we don't understand the value of it. But once we understand the value of it, we have to put effort. And I must tell you, despite we are in Kali Yuga, busy life, polluted, contaminated life, there are still great gurus today. There are still so many great gurus today. There are still so many great Brahmanas today. But we have to find them. They are available. We'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that more. So, what is the essence of all Vedic? So again, Vedas, I don't know, there is a different, deeper topics called Shaddarsanas, like Vaisheshika, Mimansa, Nyaya. There are different kinds of explanations of approach towards Vedas and all kinds of things. Vedas are very deep, and we discussed there are so many Puranas and all kinds of things. The whole essence of all these things, one life is not just enough to understand all these things. Even though some of you decide today, no, tomorrow morning, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock, I'm going to open my Vedas and start reading. No, we cannot complete it. So, for everything we want in a capsule, right? Today we want the essence in a capsule, right? Some people send Bhagavad Gita in entire first chapter in one line. We get WhatsApp forwards. It's very difficult to explain whole Bhagavad Gita in one line, but we just keep getting like that because we also don't have time and we don't want to invest so much time. We want easy things always. So what is Krishna saying? We all know Shankaracharya, right? Shankaracharya has written a thing called Gita Mahatyam. Gita Mahatyam. There are few slokas in that Gita Mahatyam. The word itself is telling Gita Mahatyam. He's praising about the greatness of Gita. You know what is a beautiful sloka here? Sarvopanishado Gavo, Dogda Gopala Nandana, Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta, Dugdam Gita Amrutam Mahat. We'll spend 30 seconds to understand this one. Sarvopanishado Gavo. If I consider, how many Upanishads are there? 108. Right? Sarvopanishado Gavo. If 108 Upanishads, if I equate that 108 Upanishads to cow, Dogda Gopala Nandana, the person who is milking the cow is Gopala Nandana. Who is that one? Krishna. Krishna is milking that cow. Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta. Partha is Arjuna. Arjuna is nothing but the calf. He is trying to take the milk from the cow. He is like a calf. Dugdam Gita Amrutam Mahat. So Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. Gita is the essence of all Upanishads, and Krishna is the one who is milking the cow and trying to give that milk to us through Arjuna. Did Krishna explain Gita only for Arjuna? No, he explained for all of us. Arjuna was our representative. We have to be ever grateful to Arjuna for asking that question, where he suddenly put down his dhanush and say, I am not going to fight. I am confused. My hands are shivering. I don't know what to do. All those questions come into the Gita. When we go into little more into Gita, we'll try to understand that one. So all the Upanishads are like a cow, and the milker of the cow is Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda. Arjuna is the calf. The beautiful nectar of Gita is the milk. And the fortunate devotees of the fine devotional intelligence are the drinkers and enjoyers of that milk. So if I am smart, I will not worry about reading all the 108 Upanishads. Taittiriya Upanishad, Manduk Upanishad. There are so many Upanishads are there. Recently, there is one Prabhu who is joined in our satsang group. He is in Singapore right now. He might be also attending the session. He told me that he's been attending Upanishads class since many years and he's learning from somebody in Singapore. He's joining online. So I discussed with him. So, but we don't have time, that knowledge, intelligence. But Krishna is making it very clear. Don't worry, you don't need to read 108 Upanishads. Understand Gita, you are getting the essence. Next important thing. 15:15, we all practiced, right? This sloka. Last week we practiced. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krut vedavid eva chaham. This sloka we tried to learn in our group. 15:15. Krishna is telling the summary. I am seated in everyone's heart. Any doubts on that one? Krishna is in everybody's heart. We may not recognize him, he is there. I change this body and become a frog. He will still continue to be in my heart. I change my body from frog to a mosquito. Krishna is traveling with me life after life as a Paramatma in my heart. Right? So from me comes remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. రిమెంబరెన్స్, మనకి ఏదైనా గుర్తున్నదన్నా మర్చిపోయామన్నా నాలెడ్జ్ వచ్చినా కృష్ణుడి ద్వారానే వస్తుంది. వై ఈజ్ ఈ గివింగ్ ఫర్గెట్ఫుల్నెస్? మనకి గత 100 లైఫ్స్ గుర్తుంటే అసలు ఇవాళ బతకగలమా? కెన్ వి యాక్సెప్ట్ అవర్ ఓన్ ఫ్యామిలీ లైఫ్? లాస్ట్ లైఫే గుర్తుంది అనుకోండి, కెన్ వి యాక్సెప్ట్ అవర్ వైఫ్, హస్బెండ్? సడన్లీ యూ ఫీల్ లైక్ హూ ఆర్ ఆల్ దీస్ పీపుల్, ఐ డోంట్ బిలాంగ్ హియర్ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఫర్గెట్ఫుల్నెస్ కూడా కృష్ణనే ఇచ్చాడు, సో దట్ అట్లీస్ట్ వీ కెన్ మూవ్ ఆన్ ఇన్ లైఫ్. ఎప్పుడైతే అవసరమో నాలెడ్జ్ కూడా ఆయనే ఇస్తాడు. This is time, come on, enough of running around the cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, come on, open Gita అని ఆయన మనకి చెప్తున్నాడు, ఏదో అవకాశం ఇచ్చాడు. Finally he is telling is, by all the Vedas I am to be known. అన్ని వేదాంత సారము భగవంతుడిని అర్థం చేసుకోవటము. 4 వేదాలు కూర్చొని మనం చదివినా ఫైనల్ కంక్లూషన్ ఇస్ కృష్ణ ఇస్ ద సుప్రీం గాడ్. అన్ని వేదాలు చదివితే ఫైనల్ గా చెప్పేది ఆయనది. ఇండీడ్ ఐ ఆమ్ ద కంపైలర్ ఆఫ్ ద వేదాస్. వేదాస్ ఆయన దగ్గర నుంచి వచ్చినాయి. అండ్ ఐఎమ్ ద నోయర్ ఆఫ్ ద వేదాస్. ఆయనకి తెలియదు అంటూ లేదు. సో కృష్ణ ఈస్ ద అల్టిమేట్ థింగ్ విచ్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ బై రీడింగ్ ఆల్ ద వేదాస్. సో వేదాస్ అన్ని చదివేశానండి, బట్ నాకు కృష్ణుడు గాడ్ అని కానీ ఆయనకి సరెండర్ అవ్వాలని కానీ అర్థం కాలేదు అంటే ఆ వ్యక్తికి వేదం అర్థం కానంటే. That's what Gita is telling. I am not telling. This is not created by Satya Devata. This is what Gita is telling in chapter 15:15. నేను అక్కడ కాపీ చేసిన శ్లోక తప్పు అనుకుంటే యూ గో అండ్ చెక్, బికాస్ యూ ఆల్ హ్యావ్ ద ఫ్రీడమ్ టు చెక్. యూ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు బ్లైండ్లీ యాక్సెప్ట్. గో చెక్ ద గీత, vedabase.com. Go check 15:15. What is Krishna telling? This is not created by me. So by leading all these things, we come to that conclusion. That is what Krishna is telling. Come to this conclusion. ఇప్పుడు వస్తావా, 100 జన్మలాగా వస్తావా, 1000 జన్మలాగా వస్తావా, 1,00,000 జన్మలాగా వస్తావా, వెయిట్ చేస్తుంటాను. ఆ కంక్లూషన్కి ఎప్పుడు వస్తే అప్పటి నుంచి ఆ పాత్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. లేదు నేను ఈ జన్మలో యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయను, నువ్వు అల్టిమేట్ కాదు, ఓకే ఫైన్. కృష్ణ వెంటనే ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ చేసుకోండి. నేను చెప్పాను కదా 15:15లో వై ఆర్ యూ నాట్ యాక్సెప్టింగ్ మీ. ఆయన ఏం అడగడు, నీకు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయట్లేదా కానీ తిరుగుతావా తిరుగు. జన్మ మృత్యు వ్యర వ్యాధి, జన్మ మృత్యు వ్యర వ్యాధి, ఎంత తిరుగుతావో తిరుగు. అలసిపోయావా, ఓకే ఇప్పుడు వింటావా, 15:15. దట్స్ వాట్ కృష్ణ ఇస్ టెల్లింగ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us. Okay, so now the question comes into the picture. Did people not change the knowledge over generations? How are we ensuring that the knowledge is intact? You know, earlier the duty of the kings, Shruti, yeah. Earlier, the duty of the kings was not to establish pubs, discotheques, hair-cutting saloons, spas. That was not the responsibility of the kings. Apart from the safety of the people, the most important thing is establishing temples. That's why you see Tamil Nadu and all these things, beautiful temples built by Chola dynasty, Sri Krishna Devaraya, different people have built huge temples. Temples were the universities. Nowadays, temples have become money-making organizations and all kinds of things. But the core essence is temples are the educational universities. The Gurukul system, which British has completely devastated. Before that, we had Gurukul system. All of us used to go to Gurukuls, where right from LKG, A for apple, B for ball, 1 + 1 = 2. Along that, we were also trying to understand who is God, what is the purpose of life. People from the age of 5, Prahalada said in Srimad Bhagavatam, from the age of 5, you can start learning the spiritual knowledge. We all can assess ourselves how many multiples of 5 we are carrying. Prahalada is telling from the age 5. So all these were taught in the school. But tell me, is there any school here? There are a few exceptions. Is there any school from LKG to PhD? Is there Gita taught? Srimad Bhagavatam taught? Ramayanam taught? Mahabharatam taught? No. If we use these words, secularism. Bhagavad Gita పేరెత్తద్దు. నేను I went to one school. ఎప్పుడన్నా వచ్చి కెన్ వి స్పీక్ టు ఆల్ ద టీచర్స్ అండ్ గివ్ సెషన్, మీరు దయచేసి భగవద్గీత పేరెత్తండి స్కూల్లో. మాది సెక్యులర్ స్కూల్ అండి, ఇక్కడ అన్ని రిలీజియన్స్ ఉన్నారు. మీరు వచ్చి కనుక భగవద్గీత చెప్తే కొంతమంది రేపు మానేస్తారు, వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్ గొడవ అవుతుంది, మా బిజినెస్ పడిపోతుంది, దయచేసి మీరు భగవద్గీత పేరెత్తద్దు. దట్స్ వాట్ వన్ స్కూల్ సెడ్ వెరీ క్లియర్లీ. We recently, we are one hostel. We were trying to హాస్టల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఒక ఏరియాలో, కోకాపేట్ ఏరియాలో they are conducting some sessions. I go and give them some sessions, discover yourselves on a course, so that a 17-year-old engineering first year people can understand engineering first year, second year, third year, fourth year వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యేట్టుగా we try to take some basics. So కోకాపెటియరల్ నడుస్తుంది. I take every Wednesday I take classes. So there we are asking, ఒక హాస్టల్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి అడిగాం. ఆ హాస్టల్లో 400 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు. కొంచెం మీరు ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తే మీ హాస్టల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కూడా వస్తారండి, నేర్చుకుంటారండి అంటే మీరు ఆ పేరు ఎత్తద్దండి. ఈ మేడ్ ఇట్ వెరీ క్లియర్. దయచేసి మీరు గీత మీరు ఏం చేసుకున్నా బయట చేసుకోండి. మా హాస్టల్ లోపలికి వచ్చి కానీ మా స్టూడెంట్స్కి కానీ ఈ దేవుడు, భక్తి, గీత ఈ మాటలు మాట్లాడద్దు. మీరు కావాలంటే వచ్చి యుఎస్లో ఏ యూనివర్సిటీస్ చదువుకుంటే బాగుంటుందో దాని గురించి కౌన్సిలింగ్ ఇస్తానంటే ఐఎమ్ మోర్ దెన్ హ్యాపీ టు వెల్కమ్ యూ. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు టాక్ అబౌట్ భక్తి, గీత అండ్ ఆల్, ఐఎమ్ వెరీ సారీ అండి, ప్లీజ్ ఏమనుకోద్దండి. దట్స్ వాట్ ఈ సెడ్. I spoke for 15 minutes, he was not convinced. So finally we asked him to just keep one poster there so that if any student is interested, he's going to join that WhatsApp group, then he'll come. He's saying that na business potundandi, నాకు అన్ని మతాల వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారండి. The biggest problem people think is Gita is only for Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma. There are so many Muslim and Christian scholars also on Gita, because they've understood that Gita is a manual of life. It is beyond a particular religion. Who are able to understand are respecting that one. For example, many sannyasis in ISKCON, they're all Christians. I spoke last time about the Radha Govinda Mandir in Vienna, who was a Christian a church father who has become a sannyasi. I spoke about it. And there was one more person who is again from that mandir, who knows maybe 3,000 slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam. Next time when he comes to our house, I'll invite all of you. He's a German body. He knows maybe 3,000-4,000 slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam. He knows maybe 200-300 bhajans. He can play harmonium. He can play mridanga. So many instruments he can play. I get like amazed when I look at him. I feel like ashamed myself. ఆయన ముందు నాకు ఇండియాలో పుట్టి నాకు ఏం తెలుసు, ఆయనకి ఎంత నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంది, ఎంత సరెండర్ ఉంది. ఇఫ్ హీ స్టార్ట్ స్పీకింగ్ అబౌట్ కృష్ణ, హీల్ స్పీక్ ఫర్ అవర్స్ టుగెదర్. మనం ఇంకా వెళ్ళిపోతానండి అనాలంతే. హీ విల్ నెవర్ స్టాప్. He's that kind of a person. He's like 47 years old, man, such a great sannyasi. So earlier kings were, major duty was to safeguard Sanatana Dharma. They were not busy doing pubs and discotheques and all, as we were discussing. So they were establishing a college, universities like in temples, and every day there is a Bhagavatam class, there is a Ramayanam class. People go there, try to learn and kind of things. And of course, safety of the kingdom is also enough. They don't have so many police stations. For example, they had army to safeguard the boundaries and all, but not like a police station every 2 kilometers. Because people had a righteousness, right kind of a thing. The crime rate was also not so much. There are always naughty people, but it is not so much as like how much is there. And you know what was the duty of the Brahmana? Brahmanas are called Brahmagnanis, because their job is not earning money. Their job was always to pass this education. I mean, earlier there was no printing press and books and kind of things, right? They used to write in scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Skanda Purana, all these things. They used to sit and write, continuing. That again, the things used to fade away after some years. Again, the next generation Brahmanas were copying that, writing again. That's how the knowledge has been. Otherwise, how would we still in 2023, how are we having the Bhagavatam which was spoken 5,000 years ago? Because of the great work done by Brahmanas, generation after generation, they were safeguarding all this one, right? Now probably we can carry it in a small chip, but they were carrying it like this. They were spending all their days. Of course, we can't blame them now in today's situation, because there is no social system where Brahmanas are taken care of their families and all. Earlier kings used to give them agraharas, so that they don't need to worry about earning money. They were always given basic things. They were given cows, all those things, so that their job is to only focus on reading, sharing. Reading, sharing was their job. Now, today's Brahmanas cannot do that one, because there is no social system to take care of their basic needs, right? So that's why they also have to run around, earn money, get into competition, do all kinds of things. Guru Parampara. This is the question. We were connecting to this one. No? Guru Parampara is the Parampara which is connecting and making sure that knowledge is carefully cascaded from generation to generation. There are 4 major sampradayas: Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. Maybe this picture will help you to understand. So from Krishna, 4 sampradayas have started. One sampradaya started from Brahma. That means Krishna has given the knowledge to Brahma, Brahma has given to Narada, Narada has given to Vedavyasa, Vedavyasa has given to Sukadeva Goswami, and then Sukadeva Goswami has given to Saunaka Mahamuni. Like that, that knowledge is continuing. This is one track. Next track is Krishna's knowledge through Lakshmi Devi, Sri Sampradaya. It's continuing through Ramanujacharya. Like for example, Chinnajiyar Swami is from the Sri Sampradaya. Knowledge is continuing like this. Next, Lord Shiva. That's called Rudra Sampradaya. He, from Lord Krishna, is getting the knowledge, and that is continuing. And the foremost Acharya for that Sampradaya in the Kali Yuga is Vishnu Swami. Then the 4th one is 4 Kumaras. You know 4 Kumaras? Sanat Kumaras and all 4 Kumaras near the Vishnu Loka. Like 4 boys. I don't know if you have ever seen that picture. 4 Kumaras are there who are like born Brahma. They are like considered as sons of Brahma. Through them, knowledge is continuing. So that's called Kumara Sampradaya. And Nimbarkacharya is the in charge of that Sampradaya. So knowledge is cascaded through like this. Today, I am trying to follow a path which is connecting to the first path, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada are from that Sampradaya, the first line. So we are in that, trying to understand that path and trying to follow that Sampradaya. So these Sampradayas were making sure that the knowledge is not manipulated. Knowledge is not changed. Knowledge is taken care carefully, step by step, year after year, life after life they were taking. Is it getting difficult to understand? Is that okay? So we all know that Ganesh ji has written the Vedavyasa Cheptunte Ganesh Rasar kada. Ganesh has written. That's why we need to be very respectful to Ganesha, because he is the one who has given. Through him only we got all. He is the first scribe. You know what was the conversation between Vedavyasa and this one? So Ganesh ఏమన్నారంటే వేదవ్యాస్కి, నేను ఎంత స్పీడ్గా రాస్తానంటే నువ్వు ఆపటానికి వీళ్ళు, నువ్వు ఆపితే లేచి వెళ్ళిపోతాను. He said that one, Brahm. నువ్వు ఆపితే ఇక్కడి నుంచి లేచి వెళ్ళిపోతాను, నువ్వు చెప్తానే ఉంటాను, నేను స్పీడ్గా రాస్తానే ఉంటాను. దానికి వేదవ్యాస has given smart answer. ఓకే, ఐ అగ్రీ టు యువర్ కండిషన్, బట్ నేను చెప్పిందల్లా నువ్వు అర్థం చేసుకొని రాయి. నేను చెప్పిందల్లా నువ్వు అర్థం చేసుకొని రాయి. ఆ కండిషన్, నీ కండిషన్ నేను ఒప్పుకుంటే నా కండిషన్ ఒప్పుకో. సో గణేష్ జీ has accepted that condition. So that means, ఇది ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నాం అంటే, that means Ganesh ji, when he is writing every sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayanam and all this, when he is writing, he has read it, he has accepted it. అది కరెక్ట్ అని. You understand? తప్పు ఉంటే ఆయన రాయడు కదా. Right? If something says that దేవుడు అవసరం లేదు, ఎంజాయ్ లైఫ్ అన్నది ఒక శ్లోక ఉందనుకోండి, I can create that one. It takes 5 minutes to create a sloka. Like, no, enjoy life, no need for God. I can write a poem now. ఆ పోయం వ్యాసుడు చెప్తే గణేష్ జీ విల్ నాట్ యాక్సెప్ట్. సారీ, తప్పు చెప్పామంటారు అన్నమాట. సో గణేష్ జీకి మనం అందుకని అంత గ్రేట్ఫుల్ గా ఉండాలి, ఎందుకంటే ఆయన ద్వారా మనకి నాలెడ్జ్ వచ్చిందని. ఎస్, హీ వాజ్ నాట్ చాట్ జీపీ. కరెక్ట్, హీ వాజ్ నాట్ చాట్ జీపీ. ఆయన అర్థం చేసుకొని అదంతా మనకి ఇచ్చారు. అంటే బేసికల్గా హీస్ లైక్ వెరిఫైడ్, హీస్ వెరిఫైడ్ అండ్ accepted it. So this is also one proof that the Shastras are not manipulated. So we discussed about this Sampradaya kada. For example, this Sampradaya, Ivala, for example, I am trying to connect to this path of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya kada. Ivala ISKCON organization ఏదైనా ఒక book publish అయితే, ఎవరన్నా రాస్తే, there is a checkpoint that the person is not putting his own thoughts. He is trying to repeat what was there from the previous acharyas. He is not distorting the meaning of what Krishna said. That checks and balances are there. I might write a little more in a way to make young people understand, or I can make it simple, I can give some examples, but I cannot change the core topics. You understand? So that is how Shastras are ensured that they are not manipulated. So little more understanding from Gita, 2 topics. Cheppandi. ఒకటే ఉన్నది, బట్ 4 పార్ట్స్ లో అది కంటిన్యూ అయింది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఈవెన్ వేదవ్యాస when he has Vedavyasa 4 వేదాలు కంపైల్ చేశాక, I mean actually Vedas were one. He broke them into 4 parts. ఋగ్వేద, యజుర్వేద, సామవేద, అథర్వణ వేద. ఒక్కొక్క పార్ట్ ని ఒక్కొక్క ముని వేదవ్యాస నుంచి తీసుకున్నారు. వాళ్ళు దాన్ని ఫర్దర్ డెవలప్ చేసుకుంటూ క్యాస్కేడ్ చేసుకుంటూ 1 person went into north, for example, to cascade the knowledge of Rigveda. Another munis took the knowledge of Samaveda and went to south, east, west, like that. They took it further like that. So now if you see, everything is connected back. For example, let's say Godavari district lo Iragavaram అని ఒక చిన్న ఊరు. ఆ ఊర్లో 70% are Vedic Pandits. Example, 70% Brahmins are like Vedic Pandits. Poddun lechi, if you walk around in that small village, everybody will be reciting Vedas. They don't switch on TV serials and watch for hours together. So వాళ్ళు ఏంటి అలా కనెక్ట్ అయి వచ్చినాడు. ఎక్కడో స్టార్ట్ అయిన వేదవ్యాస దగ్గర నుంచి అలా వచ్చి అలా ప్రతి నూక్ అండ్ కార్నర్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియాలో ఆ వేదాలు అలా అయినది. అట్లా ఈ నాలెడ్జ్ ఆఫ్ గాడ్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో గోయింగ్ త్రూ 4 different people. But the 4 different people are not changing the meaning. It is the same message is going to 4 different tracks.
ఒకే మెసేజ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు 4 పార్ట్స్ ఎందుకు, ఒకే పార్ట్ చాలు?
అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ బేసికలీ యూ హ్యావ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫాలోవర్స్ ఉండొచ్చు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఒక గురువు దగ్గర 15 మంది ఫాలోవర్స్ ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి. లైక్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ ఇస్కాన్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, శ్రీల ప్రభుపాద ఈజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫౌండర్ ఆచార్య ఆఫ్ ఇస్కాన్. ఆయన కింద దేర్ ఆర్ మెనీ డిసైపుల్స్ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళ కింద మెనీ డిసైపుల్స్ ఉన్నారు. ఈ పాత్ ఇలా కంటిన్యూ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది, ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ అలా క్యాస్కేడ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. బికాస్ వీఆర్ సో మెనీ పీపుల్, ఇట్ విల్ కంటిన్యూ లైక్ దిస్. వీ కెనాట్ సే 1 person. ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ విల్ కంటిన్యూ లైక్ దట్. అర్థమైందండి? There are so many people and under them disciples కింద disciples, that parampara is continuing since time immemorial. ఇవాళ కాదు, ఎప్పటి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయింది ఇది. Maybe there is one picture I will show you. Can you see this picture? Coming from Krishna, then Brahma giving that knowledge to Vedavyasa giving that knowledge to Sukha Mahamuni, and that knowledge continuing like that. Sorry, Narada. Brahma giving that knowledge to Narada to Vedavyasa, like that all the way until Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of this one. That knowledge is coming from Krishna and continuing. ఇప్పుడు సడన్ గా ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళు వచ్చి నాకు ఈ 4 పార్ట్స్ తోనూ దేంతో సంబంధం లేదండి, ఐ విల్ జస్ట్ క్రియేట్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐ లైక్, ఐఎమ్ ఆల్సో రైటింగ్ వన్ మై ఓన్ ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ ఆఫ్ గీత అంటే వీ డోంట్ యాక్సెప్ట్ ఇట్. బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ త్రూ చెక్స్ అండ్ బ్యాలెన్సెస్. You are not from an authorized sampradaya. There is no checks and balances that the meaning is not changed. You understand? For example, just name one publisher who is one of the good publishers now. Books publishers. While they try to make sure some edits and everything are taken care. So our publishers కొన్ని books రాశారంటే we'll think that one, that's all authentic. ఇంక డౌట్ ఉండదు మనకి, ఫేక్ న్యూస్ లేదని. సమ్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్ ఉందనుకోండి, అందులో ఫేక్ న్యూస్ ఉండదు అని మనకు అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. సమ్ న్యూస్ కొన్ని మీడియా ఛానల్స్ నమ్మలేము మనం. ఎస్పెషల్లీ వాట్సాప్ యూనివర్సిటీ, వీ కెనాట్ బిలీవ్. ఎవ్రీ డే వీ గెట్ వన్ న్యూస్, దాని గురించి ఎతికితే తప్పని తెలుస్తుంది. సో నవడేస్ అవర్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఇస్ నాట్ గూగుల్, వాట్సాప్ యూనివర్సిటీ. వీఆర్ ఆల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ద వాట్సాప్ యూనివర్సిటీ. సో వాట్ కృష్ణ ఇస్ సేయింగ్, ప్లీజ్ రీడ్ దిస్ వన్. కెన్ యూ రీడ్ మాతాజీ దిస్ వన్? Saintly persons, bona fide. God's will, sincere seeker. మీరు అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్కి ఇది ఆన్సర్ అండి. నేను ఒక గురువుని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, బోనఫైడ్ అంటే ఈజీ అథెంటిక్ అనమాట. ఈజీ ద బోనఫైడ్ అథెంటిక్ మార్క్. మన దీవాళీకి మనం వెళ్ళి అవి కొనుక్కుంటాం కదా, ఏంటది, ఐ ఫర్గాట్, శివకాశీది, అది ఏంటి, స్టాండర్డ్. ఇప్పుడు దేర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ. మన స్టాండర్డ్ ఒక డికేడ్ 2 decades నుంచి స్టాండర్డ్ అని ఉంటే తీసుకుంటాం. ఇంకా మనం పెద్ద ఆలోచించేది కరెక్ట్గా ఉంటాయా, వెళ్తాయా లేదా, ఇవన్నీ ఆలోచించాం. స్టాండర్డ్ ప్యాకెట్లు వేసేసుకుంటాం. అట్లా గురువు ఎవరు ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు నేను అంత బుర్రబద్దలు కొట్టుకోకలేదు. ఈజీ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎ బోనఫైడ్ సాంప్రదాయ విచ్ ఇస్ కంటిన్యూయింగ్ విత్ ద సక్సెషన్ ప్లాన్. గురువు, నీ గురువు ఎవరు, మీ గురువు ఎవరు, అది కంటిన్యూ అవుతుందా లేదా? లేదు. ఇవాళ కొంతమంది, దేర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ పీపుల్ సేయింగ్, నాకు గురువు అవసరం లేదండి, ఐ నో ఎవ్రీథింగ్. దేర్ ఇస్ 1 person, I don't want to take names because that might controversy things. There is one person who says, I don't need to read any Shastras. I don't need to read Gita. I know everything. He has 1 million followers now. So some people say that I don't need to read Shastras. Who is your guru? I don't need a guru. I know everything within my heart. I know everything. There are different people who are just making their own statements of I know everything and all kinds of things. Now, we'll understand this more in detail in 2 hours in Who is Guru session. But the summary is, your guru must be from a bona fide sampradaya. His guru should have a guru. His guru should have a guru. His guru should have a guru. And finally, that is all. Is it starting from Krishna or not? Can you show me the whole path? Then I will become your disciple. For example, ISKCON organization. You go to any guru and say, can you please show me the whole path? They will explain you. Then you can say, okay, I will surrender to you. I'll accept you. If one guru, Mr. X says, who is your guru? I don't need, I don't have. Then you can say, thank you very much. I'll stay a million miles away from you. That is the Shastra. I used one word called Shastra Chakshu. That is the eyes from the Shastra, using the Shastra. The verdict of Shastra is, your guru should be a bona fide spiritual master. Then, how do we know Vedic knowledge is true? We'll spend 10 minutes to understand what is Srimad Bhagavatam telling about. For example, you all know, like Veera Brahman garu, Kalagnana undi, ayana edo predict chesaru. Our predictions ayinangane, ayana appudu predict chesidi correct. Or some people believe Nostradamus, American. He said this is going to happen certain way. And okka prediction avangane will say, oh, Nostradamus was right. Ala anukunta untam. So Srimad Bhagavatam, which was written 5,000 years ago. Actually, it is written millions and millions of years ago. But very recently, 5,000 years ago, Srimad Bhagavatam came. After the Dwapara Yuga, when Krishna was leaving back. We discussed last time, Krishna never dies. Krishna was leaving back to his world of Goloka Vrindavana. You asked this question, we'll talk about it, Lakshmi Gar. We'll talk about it later. So when Krishna was leaving back to Goloka Vrindavana, everybody were praying, Naina nu vellipote ma paristhiti enti? Nu vellipote ma paristhiti enti? Ippudu varaku edo nu unnavu ninnu chuskunటూ atla batikesam. Next ma gati enti? So Krishna said 3 forms. I am coming back in 3 forms. Number 1, I am in the Nama. There is no difference between me and the Nama. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ee Shodashakshari mantra and 16 words mantra and Krishna, there is no difference. Rendu okate. Very difficult for us to understand. If I say I and Satya are one and the same, it's to some extent fine. But if God is saying I and name are one and the same, exactly the same, you see me face or you just say Hare Krishna, both are one and the same. That is one. Next, I am coming in the book form. Naina ye rupamlo vastao? Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but a book form of Krishna. Bhagavantudi pustakam rupamlo unte adi Krishnudu. Idi Srimad Bhagavatam. Third one, I am coming as a devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 500 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం he came. We will talk about him more. Krishna himself came. నాయనా నువ్వు నాకు హరే కృష్ణ మహామంత్రం ఇచ్చావు, నాయనా నువ్వు భాగవతం ఇచ్చావు, అయినా సరే నాకు నాకు ఇష్టం లేదు, నా మనసు అటు వెళ్ళట్లేదు, ఏం చేయాలి? Krishna has come himself like a devotee and he is explaining how to apply Srimad Bhagavatam in day-to-day life, how to do Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why do you think you have seen many people in ISKCON keep singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra on the road? You have seen Hare Krishna Mahamantra on the road, or distributing Bhagavad Gita, asking to sell and all. Sometimes we'll think, are these guys mad? Alaki intlo chesukochu Hare Krishna Mahamantra road మీద తిరిగి చేయాలా అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. You know why people do this mantra on the road also? So that it doesn't purify us, it also purifies everybody. అసలు ఊరేగింపు ఎందుకు జరుగుతుంది? Yes, ఊరేగింపు for all those special people who never come to the temple, who have no time for coming to the temple. Krishna or whoever is coming in the Utsavamurti is telling, నాయనా నీకు టైం లేదు, నువ్వు చాలా బిజీగా ఉన్నావు, జన్మ మృత్యు వేరావ్యాధిలో పిచ్చ బిజీగా ఉన్నావు, నేను వస్తున్నాను మీ ఇంటికి, ఇప్పుడన్నా ఒక్కసారి బయటకు వచ్చి చూసి వెళ్ళిపో. దట్స్ వై వి డూ జగన్నాథ రథయాత్ర. వై ఆర్ వి డూయింగ్ జగన్నాథ రథయాత్ర? సో దట్ జగన్నాథ్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ అవుట్. కనీసం అప్పుడన్నా ఒక 5 minutes ఆఫీస్ కాల్, కాన్ఫరెన్స్ కాల్స్ పక్కన పెట్టి ఒక్కసారి నన్ను వచ్చి ఒక 10 minutes ఒక్క దండం పెట్టుకొని పో. నీ లైఫ్ అక్కడి నుంచి జయ జగన్నాథ్ అను, అక్కడి నుంచి నీ లైఫ్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. దట్స్ వాట్ ఈస్ కృష్ణ సెయింగ్. బట్ మనకు ఆ 5 minutes కూడా లేవు. ఇవాళ నాకు చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మీటింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. జగన్నాథ్ నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ కూడా వస్తాడు, చూస్తాను. దట్స్ వాట్ వి ఆల్ థింక్ లైక్ దట్. వై డస్ జగన్నాథ్ హ్యావ్ బిగ్ ఐస్? డస్ జగన్నాథ్ ఐస్ హ్యావ్ ఐలిడ్స్? జగన్నాథ్ ఐలిడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎప్పుడన్నా చూసారా? హీ డజంట్ హ్యావ్ ఐలిడ్స్. ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ ఓపెన్ లుకింగ్. వై డస్ హీ హ్యావ్ బిగ్ ఐస్? మన మనసులో ఉన్న చిన్న భక్తి ఉన్న, చిన్న సర్వీస్ ఉన్న ఎతికి పట్టుకుంటాడు ఆయన. ఆయన అలా చూస్తుంటాడు. నీ మనసులో అప్పుడెప్పుడో ఒక 200 years బ్యాక్ ఒక్కసారి హరే కృష్ణ అన్నావు, థ్యాంక్ యూ. 500 years బ్యాక్ నాకు ఒకసారి పర్వాణం చేసి పెట్టావు, ఫైన్, థ్యాంక్ యూ, ఐ స్టిల్ రిమెంబర్. దట్స్ వాట్ కృష్ణ విత్ దట్ బిగ్ ఐస్ జగన్నాథ్ హీస్ లుకింగ్ వాట్ ఈస్ గుడ్ ఇన్ యూ. మనకి జగన్నాథ్కి తేడా ఏంటంటే, మనం వేరే వాళ్ళు చూస్తే వాళ్ళ తప్పులు ఎతుకుతాం. ఫస్ట్ తప్పులు ఎతుకుతాం. నీవు అది, నువ్వు ఇది, నువ్వు అలా మాట్లాడుతావు, ఇలా మాట్లాడుతావు, ఎలా కట్టుకుంటావు, ఎలా చేస్తావు, అలా చేసుకుంటావు. వెన్ కృష్ణ సీస్, ఆయన ఫస్ట్ తప్పులు ఎతకడు. నీలో ఏం మంచి ఉందని గుచ్చి ఎతుకుతాడు. దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ అస్ అండ్ గాడ్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద గ్రేట్నెస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్. సో దట్స్ వై గాడ్ కమ్స్ అవుట్ ఫర్ దిస్ వన్. నౌ కమింగ్ బ్యాక్, శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం ఈస్ టెలింగ్ దట్ ఎర్త్ ఈస్ రౌండ్. It was millions of years ago. Now I understood why did I go to suddenly Jagannath. Because God is coming in 3 forms we discussed, right? As a Nama Rupa, then Pustaka Rupa, and then as Bhakta Rupa. God is coming to 3 forms. That's why from there we suddenly Bhagavatam became. So Bhagavatam said, Bhu gold, earth is round. Actually our Munis and people know long back. So a lot of people, Aristotle, and then Christopher Columbus. You know, Christopher Columbus was trying to come to India. Why? Not for gold or something. Everybody knows. Of course, some Britishers have come for different reasons. Some Mughals have come for different reasons. But the real knowledge people came to India. They know that India is the spiritual capital of the world. Ikkada unnanta dhanam, spiritual dhanam, ఏ కంట్రీలో లేదు. Everybody look towards India to understand the purpose of life. Vedas are born here. Everything is here. That's why people come to India. And we leave India and try to go other places. That is the saddest part, because we don't know the value of our own country. So, Srimad Bhagavatam said millions of years ago, earth is round. Similarly, Saptadvipa. We know 7 continents, right? Srimad Bhagavatam said very clearly, Saptadvipa. It is already mentioned. We don't need to worry that there are 7 continents. I am talking about all these things so that it will help us to develop faith in the Shastra. Yeah. Then time dimension 360 days. That there are 360 days is mentioned in the Canto 4, chapter 27, Sloka 13 explains that there are 360 days in a year. This was done millions of years ago. Day of Brahma. So today is Mahalaya Amavasya, right? Many people might have offered tarpanas or this one to the deceased parents, Pitru Devatas. There are 14 lokas. Manam okkasari maatladukunnam kada. There are 14 lokas. The time dimension in each loka is very different. Do you agree? Anta worry avalsina avasam ledhu, endukante US time zone and India time zone is very different. Singapore time zone and India time zone is very different. Ikkada unna daniki anta time difference unte, like California or New York is like 10.5 hours time difference undi. So ikkada unna geography lo time difference unte, when we are talking about in other planes, time difference unte ashcham ledu. For in the Pitruloka, their 1 year, our 1 year is there 1 day. Mana 1 year is there 1 day. అందుకని వాళ్ళు మనం అనుకుంటా సంవత్సరానికి ఒకసారి వాళ్ళు వస్తున్నారు అనుకున్నాం, బట్ బేసికల్లీ లైక్ ఎవ్రీ డే. సో సిమిలర్లీ ద లైఫ్ స్పాన్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ డిఫరెంట్ ఇన్ దిస్ వన్. Brahma lives for 100 years. There is a very big deep explanation. We'll talk sometime later. Brahma lives for 100 years. His 1 day is 4.3 billion years. His 1 day is 4.3 billion years. His 1 night is another 4.3 billion years. So 8.6 billion years into 360 into 100. That is the life of Brahma. Yeah. Error. Calculator lo kodite E vastundi. E vastundi calculator lo kodite. So that is the life of the Brahma. right? So life of Brahma is so big, we cannot even imagine. But that Brahma also has to leave his body one day at the end of 100 years. That's what Shastra is telling. Brahma also has to leave his body after his 100 years, when the again cycle of creation starts and everything. It's a big topic, but I'm just explaining everything. So recently they found out with some analysis that Earth is around 4.5 billion years is the life of the Earth. They're trying to find out, which is almost matching to what was written millions of years ago in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ganges water. We all know that Ganges water, Ganga water is very pure kada. అక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకొస్తే అది సంవత్సరం అయినా సరే 6 months అయినా సరే అలా ప్యూర్గా అలా ఉంటుందని తెలుసు. మరి ఎందుకు అలా ఉంటుంది? బికాస్ గంగా డస్ నాట్ బిలాంగ్ టు దిస్ వరల్డ్. ఇట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద అదర్ ప్లానెట్స్. ఎప్పుడంటే యు నో అబౌట్ ద భగీరథ, యు గాట్ ఇట్, బట్ బేసికల్లీ వామన అవతారం తెలుసు కదా. వామన అవతారం హీ ఆస్క్ ఫర్ ద 3 steps కదా. ఒక స్టెప్ లో హీ టేక్స్ హిస్ లెగ్ అండ్ పుట్స్ ఇట్ లైక్ దట్, దెన్ హీ పియర్సెస్ ఇన్ టు దట్ వన్. అప్పుడు అక్కడ స్వర్గలోకం నుంచి గంగా కమ్స్ టు హియర్ వెన్ హిస్ లెగ్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇలా ఇఫ్ ఐ పియర్స్ ఇన్ టు దిస్ వన్ ఐ విల్ గో టు 1302. ఐ మీన్ 1202. లైక్ దట్ వెన్ త్రివిక్రమ ఇస్ డన్ లైక్ దట్ వన్, అక్కడి నుంచి గంగా వాటర్ హ్యాస్ స్టార్టెడ్ కమింగ్. బికాస్ దట్ గంగా ఇస్ నాట్ బిలాంగింగ్ టు దిస్ ప్లానెట్ ఆర్ దిస్ వరల్డ్. ఇట్స్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ అ డిఫరెంట్ ప్లానెట్. దట్స్ వై ద వాటర్ ఇస్ ప్యూర్. And that is explained in Shastras. Similarly, Gomutra, cow urine. Yeah, cow urine has so many medicinal benefits, right? Shastras are telling that one. No other animal urine is told as this. Every other animal urine or stool have no value for it. Even our own human thing is also has no value for it. But cow urine, cow dung, Panchagavya, 5 things coming from cow. They're all so valuable. That's again coming from Srimad Bhagavatam is telling. Now Germans and Americans have filed a patent of cow urine, unfortunately. Our own people start arguing. What are the nonsense you're talking? Urine anta, animal urine anta, tagalanta, cancer tagutundanta, nikana picture. All kinds of things we say here. I mean, you're talking animal urine. What are you talking? You are from a primitive age. Anta. But Shastras are telling medicines are being made from the cow urine. Similarly, cow dung. Yeah. Cow dung is antiseptic. There is so much kind of thing. Paata ఊళ్ళల్లో ఇదివరకు cow dung తోనే మొత్తం చేసేవారు కదా, నీళ్ళు అలికేవారు. They used to do that one. So in fact, there are so many references to Shastras about cow dung. Then human embryology. How the baby, I think I touched this topic in first session or second session. How the baby is moving week after week after week after Kapila Gitalo. When Lord Kapila was talking to his mother Devahuti, he was explaining everything week after week. At that time, there was no ultrasound scanning machines, no machines, but he was explaining what is going to happen to the baby, why does the baby cry, all these kinds of things were explained. And we discussed a little bit in the first chapter. So Shastra say that when there is bacteria in the fire, we cannot imagine. Fire is so hot, hundreds of degrees centigrade. We cannot imagine that there is life there in the fire. Shastra say that there is also bacteria living in the fire. Similarly, whom we see, sun god, sun planet, sun, what we see there, based on all the research and all, we cannot even get closer to it because we'll just get burnt like that one. But there are people living inside in the sun planet. There is life there. Sun god is the in charge of the sun planet, and he has a name. You know what is the name of the person who is in charge of sun planet now? It comes in the Bhagavad Gita. His name is Vivaswan. Vivaswan is the current sun god. All these are positions. Like MLA for these 5 years is one position. Next year, let's say this Serlingampalli constituency, if another gentleman becomes MLA, he is there in that position for 5 years. MLA is a position. Name of the person keep changing 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. In a similar way, Indra, Varuna, Sun, all these are positions. Different people can sit into that one. Even Brahma is also a position. We can apply for that position. If we get interviewed and selected, we will be there. Who is the Bhavishyat Brahma? You might have heard about it. Anjaneya Swami. Anjaneya Swami has given that when next Brahma comes, Anjaneya is being given that position to become a Brahma. So all these are so much is there into Shastra. Tulasi plant. I think we all know. Fortunately, whoever is born in India, at least many of us know that Tulasi plant is sacred. Tulasi plant is sacred. We should water to it. We should not pluck it whenever we want. We should not treat it like any other plant. All those things, somehow we have that consciousness, right? So any of you know what is this tilak meaning? You saw my tilak, right? You know what is this tilak? There is a U shape, right? We think ritual. Yeah, there is a ritual. So that ritual, U is nothing but Krishna's feet and a padam. And this leaf here is Tulasi. Tulasi, Bhagavantudiki, enta beautiful flower offer chesina, enta smell vache flower offer chesina, enta andanga unna flower offer chesina, Tulasi offer cheyapothe he will not feel that happiness. Tulasi leaf, how does it look? Very ordinary and special. There are so many beautiful flowers. There are so many flowers which are beautiful and giving wonderful aroma smell. Chala bagunnai untayi. But అవి ఏం అవసరం లేదు. కృష్ణుడికి ఒక చిన్న తులసి ఆకు ఆయన పాదాల దగ్గర పెడితే ఈస్ హ్యాపీ. మీరు ఏదైనా వంట చేసి ఆయనకి పెడితే అందులో ఒక తులసి ఆకు వేసిస్తే ఇట్ ఈస్ లైక్ యాక్సెప్టెడ్ ఎండార్స్. బికాస్ తులసి దేవి ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద గ్రేటెస్ట్ డివోటీ ఆఫ్ విష్ణు అండ్ కృష్ణ. వీఆర్ ఆల్ ఫాలోవర్స్ ఆఫ్ తులసి దేవి. దట్స్ వై భగవంతుడు చేరేది భక్తుల ద్వారానే చేరగలం మనం. వీ కెనాట్ గో ఆన్ అవర్ ఓన్. సో విష్ణువుని ప్రీతి చెందాలంటే తులసి దేవి ద్వారా అప్లికేషన్ పెట్టుకోవాలి మనం. దట్స్ వై వీ గో త్రూ తులసి. దట్స్ వై తులసి ఈస్ సచ్ ఎ గ్రేట్ ప్లాంట్. All this is explained in Tulasi is used in treating cancer. I heard that when I was reading somewhere that all these are written in Vedas and different Puranas. Everything is written there. So we don't need to see some of them as rituals. There is a meaning. For example, we are wearing this small mala in our Tulasi mala in our this one. What is this one? This is like dog's belt. Oka kukkiki belt unte em anukuntam? That means he belt, this dog belongs to some owner. It is not a street dog. So this mala I am wearing in my neck means I am not a street person, I belong to Krishna. So this is saying that I am the pet dog of Krishna. I am trying to become, not I am already. I am trying to become a pet dog of Krishna. That means I have a boss, I have an owner, I have a master. So this is a proof that we have a master. So when you start accepting Krishna as your master, you can wear this mala and you can wear this tilak, if you accept him as your master. Whenever we are ready to accept that, I also took quite some time. I'm still in the process of trying to accept him fully. Maybe today 2% I'm accepting. Maybe I will wait for a day where I will accept him 100%. So that is the effort. So let's take a pause. Any questions? Hare Krishna online lo unna valaki evanna you have any questions? Am I going too fast today? There's so much. Is that okay? Is the pace okay? I don't have any hurry to complete everything in these 2 hours. We can even move some of the part to the next session also. There is no hurry. This is not like a syllabus that we have to complete. And there is an exam. Because we are discussing about God. Even if it takes a little more, 2 more weeks, it's okay. We can spend that time to understand. Hare Krishna online lo unna vallaki evana questions gaani evana confusion gaani evana unnada ippudu varaku maatladani vishayamlo? Anybody there? Is connection online or is it not disconnected? Hare Krishna, anybody online?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, Nama. Any questions or any points, inputs? Are you all okay? Is the speed?
Yeah, all okay.
All okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Right. So, ippudu varaku manam we were just talking about some truths coming from Vedas. Now we'll talk about some more things coming from Vedas. Lord Buddha's arrival was predicted way long back in Srimad Bhagavatam. That where Buddha will be born, which part, who is his father, mother, all these details are in Srimad Bhagavatam. I just spoke some time back that Krishna came as a Bhakta Rupa, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is there in the Srimad Vishnu Sahasranama. Suvarna Varna Hemango, right? Suvarna Varna Hemango. That means Krishna is never Suvarna Varna, right? Krishna is dark. Cloud, dark bluish cloud color, but it says Suvarna Varna Hemango. That means Krishna is come in the golden form. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came like a golden form. He came like a in the golden form to teach us how to develop bhakti in this path. He has just come 500 years back. Fortunate are the people who have seen him in person 500 years back, seeing the Supreme Lord, Sarvakarana Karanam, in front of you like walking. For example, Narendra Modi మన ఇంటికి వచ్చి మన అపార్ట్మెంట్ లో మార్నింగ్ వాక్ చేస్తుంటే మనం ఎలా ఫీల్ అవుతాం? ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా మా అపార్ట్మెంట్కి వచ్చారు. అలాంటిది బాస్ ఆఫ్ ద అన్లిమిటెడ్ యూనివర్సెస్ కళ్ళ ముందు నడుస్తూ ఉంటే వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? హౌ ఫార్చునేట్ ఆర్ దోస్ పీపుల్ అండ్ హౌ అన్ఫార్చునేట్ ఆర్ ద పీపుల్ హూ హ్యావ్ నాట్ సీన్ హిమ్, హూ హ్యావ్ నాట్ యాక్సెప్టెడ్ హిమ్. మహాభారత వార్లో ఎవ్రీబడి యాక్సెప్టెడ్ హిమ్. దుర్యోధన డిడ్ నాట్ యాక్సెప్ట్. Krishna gave Viswarupa Darshana. He even gave eyes to the Dhritarashtra. Eyes ఇచ్చి చక్షు చేసి చూపించాడు. అయినా సరే ధృతరాష్ట్ర చూశాడు, ఓవర్వెల్మ్ అయిపోయాడు. మళ్ళీ అయిపోగానే నా కొడుకు, నా ఆస్తి, నా రాజ్యం, ఆ పాశం ఆయన్ని బంధించేసింది. హీ డి నాట్ డూ సర్వధర్మాన్ పరిత్యజ్య. వేరే అర్జున విశ్వరూపం చూపించగానే హీ ఫాల్ ఎట్ హిస్ ఫీట్. సర్వధర్మాన్ పరిత్యజ్య మామేకం శరణం వ్రజ. ఇంకా నాకేం వద్దన్నాడు ఆయన. ఇద్దరికి ఆపర్చునిటీ ఇచ్చాడు భగవంతుడు. ఒకడు పాదాల మీద పడిపోయాడు, ఒకడు ఆయన్ని బంధిస్తానికే ట్రై చేశాడు. దుర్యోధన సెడ్ క్యాచ్ కృష్ణ, బంధించండి ఆయన్ని అన్నాడు. సో కృష్ణ ఇస్ గివింగ్ యూ అ చాయిస్. నన్ను నీ హృదయంలో బంధించుకుంటావా, నన్ను బంధిస్తానికి ట్రై చేస్తావా, నీ ఇష్టం. దట్స్ వాట్ కృష్ణ ఇస్ టెలింగ్. దెన్ Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, who started the ISKCON, who went to, we will talk more about him in the Guru session, but today since the topic has come few minutes, he is the one who went to the West at the age of 72. And today millions of people are doing Hare Krishna Mahantra because of this one great Acharya who sacrificed everything. He went to US with no money, struggled. He was just all alone in the New York because his Guru said, go and preach Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita to the West. హిస్ గురు భక్తి సిద్ధాంత సరస్వతి ఠాకూర్ గారు చెప్పారు. ఆయన ఏమీ లేకుండా ఈ వెంట్, ఆయన జలదూత అన్న ఒక కార్గో షిప్లో వెళ్ళారు. హీ హ్యాడ్ 2 heart attacks when the cargo ship. He went all the way there. He doesn't have a single rupee. He was going on the roads trying to give Srimad Bhagavatam. మనకి ఇక్కడ భాగవతం చెప్తేనే మనం వినాం. అలాంటిది న్యూయార్క్ సిటీలో వెన్ like 100 years back when people were into like peak of enjoying. ఇప్పుడు కన్నా ఇంకా అప్పుడు అసలు గాడ్ అన్న వర్డే తెలియదు చాలా మందికి. అప్పుడు ఆ టైంలో అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి ఆయన భాగవతం అందరికి చెప్పి, భగవద్గీత చెప్పి, హరికృష్ణ మహామంత్రం గొప్ప చెప్పి, రోడ్డు సంకీర్తన యజ్ఞం చేసి, he transformed drug addicts into sannyasis. He transformed drug addicts into sannyasis and who are like life and soul. This one. Sometime back I met one in Germany when they were constructing a temple. I met one pujari. I was like shocked seeing him. Aina temple opening pujalanni he was just doing perfect and everything he was explaining. Aina adigite he said he came to Kumbakonam and stayed for 4 years and learned Agama Shastra. 4 years Kumbakonamlo unna ఆయన ఆగమ శాస్త్రం నేర్చుకున్నాడు. టెంపుల్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి, అర్చమూర్తి ఎలా ఉండాలి, ఎలా విగ్రహం ఆవిష్కరించాలి, ఏమేం పూజలు చేయాలి ఏంటి, he learned that one for 4 or 5 years. Is a German body. So he has respect for Agama Shastra. మనం ఓన్లీ మ్యాథ్స్, ఫిజిక్స్, సైన్స్, సోషల్, కంప్యూటర్స్, చిప్ డిజైన్, మెడిసిన్, ఇంజనీరింగ్, all these fields. Nobody want to understand Bhagavad Gita, nobody want to understand Gita, no Shastras, nothing like that. So Srila Prabhupada, Ganga was feeling bad అనమాట. ఒకనొక టైంలో విష్ణు దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి, అడ్డమైన వాళ్ళందరూ వచ్చి నాలో మునిగి అన్ని పాపాలు నాకు వదిలిపెట్టిపోతున్నారు, ఇది భరించలేకపోతున్నాను అని ఆవిడ బాధపడితే, అప్పుడు కృష్ణ said it seems very soon my Senadipati is coming. He will transform every town and village and he'll make every bad guy also say Hare Krishna. వాడు హరే కృష్ణ అనుకుంటూ వచ్చి నీ గంగలో స్నానం చేస్తే నీ ఇంప్యూరిటీస్ పోయి యూ విల్ బికమ్ ప్యూర్. గంగాదేవి బాధపడుతుంటే ఈస్ టెలింగ్ దట్ హరే కృష్ణ మహామంత్రం నిత్యం చేసే వాళ్ళు వెళ్ళి అక్కడ స్నానం చేస్తే వాళ్ళకి నీ ఇంప్యూరిటీస్ పోతాయి, డోంట్ వరీ, మై సేనాధిపతి ఇస్ గోనా కమ్ అని లార్డ్ విష్ణు హెస్ టోల్డ్ దట్ హిమ్, ఇట్ సిమ్స్. సో దిస్ కాన్వర్సేషన్ హ్యాపెండ్ in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, one of the 18 Puranas. In the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, his presence is there. So if today, if anybody says, I am Guru, I have 2 million followers, Aina mi peru Bhagavatamlo ఏ శ్లోకంలో రాస్తుంది మీరు వస్తారని, లైక్ మీరు ఎక్కడ రాస్తుంది, మీ గురువు గారి గురించి ఏం రాస్తుంది, we can ask, can you please show me which sloka which path you are trying to follow, which path of Gita you are following. All these things we can ask the questions. Lord Kalki's arrival. How many years are there in Kali Yuga? 4,32,000 years. Kali Yuga has got 4,32,000 years. Ippudiki enni ellaini 5,125. 5125 years only happened. But there are already 4 people who said that one, I am Kalki Bhagavan in India. There are 4 or 5 people who are saying that I have already come. I am Vishnu. I am Kalki. I have come. Follow my path. But asli inka Kali Yuga avaledu. Where Krishna said in Srimad Bhagavatam, at the end of the Kali Yuga, I am going to come. And this will be my name. This will be my father. This will be my father's name. This will be my mother's name. I am born in this place, in the Shambhala village. I am born in a Brahmana family. The great soul Vishnu Yasha. Father's name is Vishnu Yasha. Anni చెప్పేశారు ఆయన శ్రీమద్ భాగవతంలో. బట్ 4-5 ఆల్రెడీ ఇండియాలో రెడీ అయిపోయారు ఐఎమ్ కల్కి అని. వాళ్ళకి మనం వాళ్ళ వెనకాల పరిగెడుతూ ఉంటాం. ఆయన అడగాలి కదా, ఏమంటే మీరు కల్కి అన్నారు కదా శ్రీమద్ భాగవతంలో, మరి మీ నాన్నగారి పేరు విష్ణు యాస, మీరు సంబల రాజ్యంలో పుట్టారా, ఇంకా 4,27,000 సంవత్సరాలు ఉంది, మీరు అంత ఎర్లీగా ఎందుకు పుట్టారు, ఏమైంది? చదవకు. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ దట్స్ వై వీ నీడ్ టు లర్న్ శాస్త్ర. మనం శాస్త్రం ఎందుకు చదవాలి అంటే, రైటా రాంగ్ గా తెలుసుకోవాలంటే మనకు శాస్త్రం తెలియాలి. శాస్త్రం తెలిస్తే రైటా రాంగ్ గా తెలుస్తుంది. లేకపోతే మీరు అన్నది కరెక్ట్, వి జస్ట్ ఫాలో బ్లైండ్లీ. మనకి ఏమి తెలియదు, కరెక్ట్ రాంగ్ కూడా తెలియదు. దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. అండ్ కల్కిస్ ప్రెడిక్షన్స్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్డ్ ఇన్ ఆల్ పురాణాస్. విష్ణు పురాణ, మహాభారత, అగ్ని పురాణ, పద్మ పురాణ, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్డ్ వెన్ కల్కి ఈస్ కమింగ్. What was that? So therefore, at the end, conjunction of 2 yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as a Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasa. At this time, the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. So basically, conjunction of 2 yugas means it's considered as Yuga Sandhi, which means the transition phase between one yuga and another yuga. Kali Yuga complete ayi, next yuga start ayi time lo, Yuga Sandhi time lo, where God is telling, I'm going to come as a Kalki. మనం ఇప్పుడే అనుకుంటాం కదా కలియుగంలో, అబ్బా కలియుగ ఇస్ అట్ ఇట్ స్పీక్ అనుకుంటాం కదా. వాట్ వీఆర్ సీయింగ్ ఇస్ 0.1001. ఇంకా ఫ్యూచర్ కలియుగం ఎంత ఘోరంగా ఉంటుంది, అది ఘోర కలి అంటారు. ఎంత ఘోరంగా ఉంటుందో ఈ లోపు వీ నీడ్ టు ప్యాక్ అవర్ బ్యాగ్స్ అండ్ గో ఫ్రమ్ హియర్. రైట్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వి గో ఆన్ ఎ టూర్. లెట్స్ సే దేర్ ఆర్ మెనీ స్టూడెంట్స్ హూ వెంట్ టు యుక్రెయిన్ టు స్టడీ మెడిసిన్. దే అండర్స్టూడ్ వాట్ ఈస్ గోనా హ్యాపెన్. ఏం చేశారు పాపం, పెట్టిబెడ సర్దుకొని రాత్రి ఫ్లైట్ ఎక్కి ఇండియా వచ్చారు. వాళ్ళ మెడిసిన్ ఏమైందో, ఫ్యూచర్ ఏంటి, వాళ్ళ కెరీర్ ఏంటి ఆలోచించాల. లైఫ్ ఇస్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అలాగే వెన్ వి స్టార్ట్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ కలియుగ ఇస్ గోనా బి more హారిబుల్ అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు గో త్రూ దిస్ వన్. వీ హ్యావ్ టు రీథింక్, డూ వీ నీడ్ టు అగైన్ టేక్ బర్త్ అగైన్ అండ్ గో త్రూ దిస్ సైకిల్ అండ్ గో త్రూ దిస్ నాన్ సెన్స్, ఆర్ షుడ్ వి ప్యాక్ అవర్ బ్యాగ్స్ అండ్ గో బ్యాక్ టు కృష్ణ, విచ్ ఇస్ ఎ ప్లేస్ వేర్ వీ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు రిటర్న్ బ్యాక్ అగైన్. దట్స్ a choice Krishna is giving us. Do you want to continue? Do you want to come back? This is very interesting thing. I was zapped when I heard this one. In Mahabharata, there is one explanation about world. How does world look like? 2 of its parts seems to be like a peepal tree. 2 parts looks like a peepal tree, ravi chettu. And 2 others look like a large hare, like a rabbit. Laga untadi ani. And it's surrounded by all sides with an assemblage of very kind of deciduous plants. Besides these portions, the rest is all water. Mahabharata, so many millions of years ago, it is written that the earth will look like 2 parts of a peepal tree and 2 parts like a hare, rabbit. Now let us see that picture. This is the description, right? This side is rabbit. The other side is aku. 2 parts of the aku laga undi. That's the same thing. Now you can see our world. Is it not amazing? Can you see the 7 worlds, the continents? One side looks like a hare, upside down, that part. For example, you see that Africa, like upside down like a hare. You can see that part like a head. And the back side like Central America and all on the other side of the hare. And this side, this side Africa, and North America, South America. This side, North America and South America. Sorry, my mistake. Europe and all was like a hare. North America and South America was like a people live. This is written in the Shastra. How the earth looks like is written in the Shastra. When I heard this one, I was like awestruck. Everything is there in the Shastras. Manaki time ledu, mana enadu chadavట్లేదు. Everything is there. This is so astonishing that how the world looks like is explained in one sloka in Mahabharata. I think I told you last time that the CERN in Switzerland were doing the research on the God particle, Big Bang theory. They were trying to find out the God particle. Ekkadi nunchi Srushti start ayindani they were doing research. Hundreds of millions of dollars they have spent to do research. Anybody have time, go to Google and find out, read about Big Bang theory, right? Yeah, Big Bang theory. People were trying to do some research, hundreds of dollars to go to the Big Bang theory, and all trying to find out what is a God particle. Take Canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam, how the creation happened is all explained there. 500 rupees, only that book alone. 500 rupees book explains how the creation started from God through Brahma, what came first, step-by-step procedure of the creation. Everything is explained in that book. But I will not believe that book. I will spend hundreds of millions of dollars and I will do some research and finally conclude nothing. Because this is a scientific brain. I don't want to accept what is written in the book. Anyway, let's continue. So there are more predictions of Kali Yuga. We are almost reaching the last leg. Kali Yuga means everything is deteriorating. Like in the first Yuga, Dharma was going on, 4 పాదాలు. Kali Yuga means it's on the single leg. Dharma is on the single leg. Next session we'll talk about what is Dharma, pillars of Dharma, we'll try to understand. So religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, memory, everything will diminish day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. That is what is Kali Yuga. We'll spend seeing ourselves in the mirror. Kali Yuga means seeing ourselves in the mirror. In Ramayana, Raghukul Reet Sada Chali, Ai Pran Jaye, Par Vachan na Jaye. Pran Jaye, but Vachan na Jaye. I die, but I don't want to break my promise. Today, we put Vottu on the entire family and do whatever we want. So there is no value of word. Giving a word means there is no value, because today we believe on papers and documents and signatures and registrations than the word of 2 people, right? But in the earlier yugas, word of mouth means that's it. But now we believe paper more than word of mouth. There's so much of hypocrisy now. We fight for no single reason. Very small reasons people try to fight. There are 2 common things in Kali Yuga: quarrelsome, hypocrisy. Quarrel. We fight for every nonsense. If husband and wife are fighting at home, it's a problem with Kali Yuga, not our problem. That is the nature of Kali Yuga we are fighting. Hypocrisy. Lopala okati, bayatiki okati. We never expose ourselves. We think something, we say something. Always 2 personalities, split personalities. This is the nature of Kali Yuga. Cleanliness. And in olden days, toilets were outside. Now toilets are inside. Earlier, we used to eat inside and leave outside. Now we eat outside and come home and leave inside. And there is no mercy. There is no value of life. People are cutting meat like, it's becoming like, and slaughterhouses are becoming like industrialized. Eating meat every day, including breakfast. Earlier, once a week, maybe 2. Now it is like every day, thrice a day. Or if even in between snacks also. For example, see this one in America, beef snack bites. People can go to school, they can carry like chocolates, that beef snack bites. I mean, meat is becoming like so and so and so. I know it might hurt some people, but some of you, if you are eating a non-vegetarian, it might hurt you. But it is becoming like crazy and crazy. There is no mercy. There is no mercy. Vere jeevam meeda manaki jali daya anadi ledu. People see it like a food. They don't see it like another living animal. It's my food. So duration of life in Kali Yuga is reducing. We see small children dying. In olden days, small children never used to die. Now we see small children having heart attacks, small children having diabetes and all kinds of problems and so many things going on, food adulteration, all kinds of things. Why are we talking about all those things? These are all written in Srimad Bhagavatam. We are connecting back to why believe in scriptures. That is our topic. That's why we are trying to understand so much about what is written in the books. When we see the reality, then we go and believe. For example, we go to an astrologer. He says in 10 years, something is going to happen. We may not believe. After 10 years, everything what he said is accepted. Immediately give him a call. Sir, everything happened. And tucha tappakunda, everything happened. Thank you so much. Because you believe him now, because everything what he said is happened. Similar way, Srimad Bhagavatam has said all these things and we are seeing them happening in front of our eyes. Now it is time for us to accept the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is time for us to accept the authority of Bhagavad Gita. That is what is the whole essence of going through these many examples. Earlier, kings. Have you seen kings sending only soldiers and kings inside enjoying? Now a war happens. Does the president or prime minister go out to the battlefield? They go to the one video conference room and say, go attack. The people, all the soldiers go and attack. Earlier, kings used to be the first person in the battlefield with their weapons. They were leading from the front. So all these are changes. Anyway, there are so many examples. We'll try to move on in the interest of time. Our memory. Sukadeva Goswami, when he was telling Srimad Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami heard the 18,000 slokas. I don't know whether he has taken notes or not. Sukadeva Goswami gave the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit in 7 days and 7 nights. Suta Goswami has noted that everything, and he went to Naimisharanya and he is repeated to many sages the entire 18,000 slokas, exactly how he heard. He has went and explained everything. Now, we don't even know our wife's phone number. If the phone is switched off, we cannot even call our wife. Or our own mother, we cannot call because we don't have a phone number. So that is what is Kali Yuga. How many phone numbers we can remember now? 5, 10? That's all. 1. Only your husband's number you remember. So it was written that food will be sold. At that time, selling food means it's like a crime in Srimad Bhagavatam days. But now we are seeing everything is happening there. Education will be sold. Food, education, health are not supposed to be sold as per Shastras. Food, health, education are not supposed to be sold as per Shastras. Now those three are the biggest business. Food, education, health, they are the biggest business. So now, I mean, there was a prediction before that we will buy water. 30 years back, I never believed that we'll buy water. Now, buying this water is so common now. Huh? Now, future, it is predicted that we'll buy air. This was also written in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nothing is created by me. Srimad Bhagavatam said in future, we are going to buy even in air cans. You know, size of a person will become inches by the end of Kali Yuga. You know, in Ramayana time, Lord Rama was how many feet tall? 14 feet or 11 feet tall. Now the maximum height is 6 feet or, I mean, anybody who is 7 also is considered like as if you are a giant. 6 feet is like considered as good tall. At that time, it was 14, like 14 feet, 13 feet. End of Kali Yuga, people will become like inches, like Lilliputs. Like earlier, we were studying these stories when we were children, like Lilliputs, like that. So people will only eat meat, practically anything which is moving, like our Korean friends. Anything which is moving, crawling under the water, anything they can cook and eat. There is no discrimination. In India, at least there is a discrimination. I'll eat this, I'll not eat this. Some part of the world, there is no discrimination. Anything which is moving, I will catch, kill, cook and eat. And plants will not even grow on the shore of a river. Near the river, there will be so much water, right? Even there plants won't grow. That means the prana shakti will start coming down, deteriorating. Today, who is the one growing the plant? Is it you? I mean, we are putting a plant, but sunshine, water, all those things are giving the small seed is becoming such a big tree. Is it, am I making that such a big tree through this one? So anyway, I think this is little worth to spend. Are we okay? There are a few more slides. Should we continue or you want to do next week? Okay. So now different religions talk different things. There is a confusion. There are some people say all paths lead to the, all road leads to the Rome. All paths are one and the same. All kinds of statements are there. So basically, Vedas are Apaurusheya, which means they are not written by human beings, not written by you and me. Vedas are coming directly from the God. So different religions say different things. You know what Jesus in Christianity said? I can tell you much more, but you cannot bear it now. That means the consciousness of the people at that time in the Israel and those people when Jesus was born, their consciousness is only certain level. For example, for a fourth class person, if I start explaining him astronomical physics or deep medical subjects, if you teach to a third class, will he understand anything? Once he is ready, you take him step by step. Once you explain, that's what Jesus said. I have so much answers, but I cannot explain you because you are not in a position to understand. Some other religion, at least don't have illicit relation with your mother and sister. That's what some religion said. At least don't have negative relation with your mother and sister. Does it need to be told in our religion, in Sanatana Dharma? Because we understand the value of mother and sister. I mean, that is the consciousness in some places. So at that time, the consciousness was very, very low. They cannot be told. So they have limited understanding. That's why there are so many scriptures. All like Quran, Bible, Vedas. There are so many things, but they are all talking about 1866, Sarva Dharman Parichajya, but different level. Islam talks about there is one Supreme Lord Allah. Right? But their level of understanding is from heaven and hell. It stops there. Somebody asked this question about heaven and hell. Vikram Gar, you asked this question today morning. I said, that's why I said I will talk to you this evening. So heaven and hell understanding is like an LKG understanding, if I can tell that way. It's like an LKG understanding, very limited understanding of heaven and hell. There is a bigger understanding than that one. So basically Vedas, a lot of work what we are doing, I do this one, Swarga Praptirastu is one of the common blessing from the Brahmanas. Swarga and Naraka are like, Swarga, if I can compare, it is like going on a holiday. Right? You are going to Mauritius on a holiday. You have 5 lakh rupees in your credit card. 5 lakhs limit is there. You are going to Mauritius. You took beautiful villa, water villa. You took there for 1 week. You enjoyed a lot. Everything, food, drinks, everything. 7th day evening, what happens? Sorry, your checkout time happened. You have to take your flight and come back. Can you live there? Can you extend your holiday for 1 year? No, you are just going to be there for 1 week. As soon as your 5 lakhs is over, you are coming back again to Hyderabad. Swarga is like that. Shine Punya Marteloke. As soon as your credit is over, you have to come back. Swarga is a transitionary place where you are sent there to enjoy so much. For example, what is your favorite sweet, Vikram Garu? Kubani ka meeta. How much you can eat? 1 cup, 2nd cup, 3rd cup. If you go to Swarga, you can eat 5 kilos of Kubani ka meeta. Example. That means you are given a body, you are given a consciousness where you can enjoy what you like so much. For example, here, if I sleep for 10 hours, I feel very, very happy. There, if you want, you can sleep for 6 months. No need to go to office, no need to go to electricity bill, no need to pay for telephone bill, no EMIs, no going to hospitals, all kinds of things, right? So you are enjoying there. But once your time is over, that in charge will come and say, please pack your bags, you are done. You have to again take birth here. So Swarga and Naraka are temporary places for purification. If you are making good kind of, what should I say, punya, you are going to Swarga. If you are making papa, you are going to Naraka. But you are going there, you are coming back. You are going there, you are coming back. So some religions talk about heaven and hell are ultimate. But our Sanatana Dharma talks that there is much more higher than heaven and hell. And heaven is not your destination. Krishna is making very clear that Heaven is not your destination. Your destination is Vaikuntha, Goloka Brindavana. Don't be caught up in sense enjoyment. That is not everything. That's what Krishna is telling very clearly. Is that helpful? Understood? So this is just like a consciousness. I think it's a good thing. So basically, basic, 3-year-old kid, A for apple. That's all he'll understand. The moment he see a red apple, he'll recognize A for apple. You go to little more, apple is a healthy fruit. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. All kinds of things we'll try to understand. Then you go to a different level of understanding. It is an edible fruit. So-and-so, some so-and-so family. There are different species of apples and all kinds of explanation. If you go to much more, it has got more deeper explanation. Can I give this 4th level of explanation to an kindergarten boy? At that time, A for apple, that's all I can tell. Maximum I can tell it is red color. I cannot tell anything more. But all 4 are correct. All 4 definitions are correct, but it is based on your readiness. Based on your readiness, based on your consciousness, based on your maturity, level of understanding is getting improved and improved and improved. So Shastras are also like that. No, we have less absorption. We forget soon. ఇక్కడే ఉన్నాం మనం. రాలేదు. Yeah, and also this we are talking about basically this concept. I think I didn't tell the foundation very clearly. Different religions preach different things. So sometimes we get confused. Different religions are saying something. So basically the point is some religions are not giving this level of understanding. Some religions are stopping at A for apple. Some religions are stopping about it is an apple, red color, it looks round and kind of thing. Some religions are stopping, it is a healthy food, it has got so and so ingredients. If you eat an apple, you get this much carbohydrate, this much the starch, this much kind of thing. Some religions stop there. But Sanatana Dharma goes until here. This is the main difference between other religions and our religion. That, for example, let's say Islam talks about God is formless. God has no form. That's why they criticize idol worship. They criticize Mirandra Picholu Devudu Bomma Rupam. They say God is formless. But our Shastras reveal God also has a form. God has hands, legs, and kind of things you can see. Have you seen a Krishna's picture as ball of light? How does Krishna's picture look like our body? Right? So it explains. So similarly, there are limited details in other religions, whereas our Sanatana Dharma talks about what God does in the morning, what does God in the evening, what does he like, what does he don't like, what is he telling you. All such details are there in the Sanatana Dharma. Other religions, God is supreme. What is his name? There is one name given to you. Can you explain more about him? There is limited understanding. In Sanatana Dharma, if you open Srimad Bhagavatam, you can explain about God completely. There's something called Ashtakali Alila, 8 parts of the day. What God does in the early morning, afternoon, what does he eat, how does he look like, what he likes, how does his mala, Vaijayanti mala looks like, what does his flute look like, who are his people who are around him. Everything is written at great level of detail in our books. But some religions have very limited understanding about God. And we try to argue that I know more, you know more, and kind of thing. So I'm explaining this one so that to understand that we are fortunate people that we have so much of deep understanding in our religion. For example, Christianity says that Jesus is Son of God. Who is God? Very limited explanation. Right? So he is the first one. He is the supreme creator. He is everything. He is the creator. That's all. What is his name? He's Son of God. Who is God? How does he look like? What does he like? What does he do? All those details are not available in those books. Our books, everything is crystal clearly explained. That is the major difference. They may not agree to it. We can't help it. Our job is not to argue with them. Our job is to understand that we have access to the highest knowledge. Do we want to read it, or do you want to just accept? A lot of our people also say God has no form. People argue. Hindus also, many people, Sanatana Dharma also, people start fighting. God has no form. Some people say that Miru puja, bhakti, మీరు LKG లో ఉన్నారండి. Once you come to PhD, you will understand God has no form. This is one school of thought. People say that మీరు బాగా ఎదిగాక you will understand that there is no, that God has no form. No, it's wrong. Your 1 + 1 is equal to 2, whether you are in LKG or whether you are PhD. 1 + 1 is equal to 2, right? If you come to PhD, will 1 + 1 is equal to become 3? No. Whatever stage you come, 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So Shastra is saying God is like this. God is, his name is there, whether you are in 1st grade or 10th grade or PhD, like that. We'll touch upon this one. So we'll come to one last 5 minutes conversation to talk a little bit about authorized scriptures. There are many Gitas. Which book to read? This was the question which I posed in front of you. Today I will try to reveal this answer. So, are we ignorant or are we knowledgeable? Are we ignorant or are we knowledgeable? After every week attending these classes, we feel like we are more and more ignorant. ఏమి తెలియదు నాకు. ఇంతకుముందు నాకు అన్ని తెలుసు అనుకున్నాను. I don't know anything. This is a feeling we start getting it. Like the more you know, you will understand that you know very little. This is the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. In a material subject, the more you know, you feel like, I know so much. But in a spiritual subject, the more you know, you will start understanding my knowledge is minuscule. It is like a drop in an ocean. So, if we are accepting that we have ignorance, why do we need to read Shastras? It will remove 6 ignorance, accepting our body as a self. For now, accept them theoretically. We'll understand who am I session a little more. We'll discuss more about the soul. We think that I am this body. I am male. I am Satya Devata. This is my illusion now. This is first illusion. By reading Shastras repeatedly, we'll start living that one. Serving senses as goal of life. Enjoyment is not goal of life. That's what Shastra is going to tell. Next one is, there is so much of anxiety so long you feel like you are associated with this world. If I lose something, if I lose a property, if I lose some money, if I lose anything, I will cry so much. Once you understand that do not belong to you permanently, your anxiety levels will start coming down. I think I shared this joke. When we are measuring land, Bhudevi will laugh so much. Needa. 500 gajal needa kani. Ennadu needo chuddam. So when we are measuring land and saying, and when we fight for territories, when we fight for our land, when we fight for this one, God laughs up. That's what I heard. There is something beyond or separate from Krishna. We'll slowly start understanding that God is everything. And we'll slowly also start understanding that God is a person. There's so much of impersonalism. All these things will go away. All these 6 kinds of ignorance will go away. We'll understand it step by step. Today, I just gave a 30,000 feet high level. We'll understand it so detailed. So we spoke about it in our first session. There are so many Gitas. Which Gita I should read? I already gave some answers in the last 1 hour. Anything you can recollect? I already gave some answers. Which one is the right book? Who is the right author? Huh? Perfect. Perfect. Parampara, Guru Parampara. Is it coming through the authorized source? Or no? Exact point, you got it. So there are hundreds of editions of Bhagavad Gita. How do we decide which version is authentic to read? The answer is this is the Parampara. So there's a lot of detail. This Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, how is it coming? Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva, Padmanabha. That is how all the way until Srila Prabhupada, and now Srila Prabhupada has disciples. That's how we are getting this knowledge. This is a detailed explanation of one Sampradaya. The whole discipline is section and chain, that this is the proof that we can admit us into this school. We don't need to do any more research. We have done the research that this school, Vaishnava philosophy, ISKCON as an organization, is official, is authorized, and the gurus there are bona fide. Now we can follow them, accept them. Then we are clear that we are going to Krishna. If I want to go to airport, I have to take ORR. Or if I go to something else, if I go to Secunderabad and go all kinds, I will go to the airport, but finally I'll make chakkar. By the time my flight is already gone, I will learn in the evening. So Srila Prabhupada has put Bhagavad Gita's name as last topic. Bhagavad Gita's name as Bhagavad Gita as it is. Have you seen this name? Bhagavad Gita as it is. Or Bhagavad Gita Yada Tatamu in Telugu. Or in Hindi, Bhagavad Gita Yada Roop. Why is only this Bhagavad Gita called as it is? Actually, in our house also, Bhagavad Gita is as it is, because no cover is also not removed. For generations, we keep it like that as it is. Like along with all the properties, we give that. We bought Gita 20 years back. We'll give that to our son. His son also will not read. He will give it to his son. As it is getting. That is not the meaning of as it is. As it is means whatever Krishna want to say, that meaning is not distorted. You understood? As it is means whatever Krishna want to say, that meaning is not distorted. The same meaning, whichever Bhagavad Gita has the same meaning which Krishna want to give, that is considered as it is book. So there are some definitions. We'll try to understand, otherwise we'll repeat again in the next session. Srila Prabhupada is the representative of the unbroken chain. We discussed that one. Next, no adulteration. That means he has not put his own thought process into that book. The next point. Core essence is to present the will of Krishna. What Krishna wants is presented. In that book, author did not present what he wants. Many times authors write what they want in the book. But here the author has written what Krishna wants. And another most important thing is, for example, Janaki Garu, who can understand you mostly? More. Who can understand you more? Your husband or your family members, right? Anybody else can understand? We all will have a limited understanding. Your husband, your family members, your brothers, sisters will know more about you, right? In a similar way, who will know more about Krishna? His devotee will know more about Krishna. So if a devotee writes the book, that is more closer than some logician, some scientist, some philosophist writing that book, right? If I explain you, my understanding will be limited. But if your husband tells about you, he will have deeper understanding of how you are, how you behave, what is your nature, everything he can tell very clearly. Example like that. So this is another important aspect. Yes. Yeah.
Stop there, right? They're implied meanings.
Because we cannot understand by just that one Sanskrit word, one word. It needs a little more deeper explanation. For example, Janma Mruchu Jara Vyadi. There is one sentence there. Until we have 1 hour PowerPoint presentation, we will not understand that one. You understand? Otherwise, one word is there. The answer 1 + 1 = 2, crystal clear. But to understand that one, we need a guru. We need proper explanation. We need examples. And when we are confused, we go back to him. They will say, no, your understanding is wrong. This is your correct understanding. Because they are very deep meanings kind of a thing. That's why we need to have that detailed purport for further explanation. Otherwise, what happens is, when we go to 40th page or 100th page, we'll again start doubting what we have read in the first page. But we have more deeper understanding, we start accepting it, and the foundation becomes concrete in the mind. Some more just points. The purpose of Gita is to guide the conditioned soul to the same purpose for which Krishna has descended. Why did Krishna come? What is that sloka which says, why did Krishna come? Yada yada hi dharmasya. Krishna has come here only to establish dharma, take the righteous people back to him, show the righteous path, kill the miscreants. That is the purpose. If any other Gita is not talking about this, why is Krishna come? And if they have their own explanations, that is not considered as an official Gita. And similarly, if the Gita is not telling that Krishna is the Supreme Father, Aham Bija Pratapitaha, Krishna is saying, I am the creator. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Mattaspriti Gnana Mahopanam Cha. We read this sloka, that I am the creator. I am the creator of spiritual world, material world. I am everything. It is me who need to be understood through Vedas. Krishna is telling all this one. If some other Vedas says, Mr. X is God, it is he need to be understood. That means that meaning is distorted. And our life is supposed to satisfy actually we think that our life is supposed to satisfy our senses. But the purpose of life is to satisfy the senses of Krishna. That means eventually, it takes time for us to understand, but eventually we are here to serve God. We are learning that process so that we are trying to please Krishna. We are always trying to please ourselves, right? We are buying things, it's for ourselves. We are watching a movie, it's for our happiness. We are doing 100 things for our happiness from morning till night, life after life. How many things we are trying to do to please Krishna? So if any book is saying that enjoy, live life, do whatever you want, it is not correct. If any book says you are created by Krishna, he is your Supreme Father, your duty is to please him, then that book is authentic. Like that, there are so many definitions. I just picked up 7-8 points for us to understand. And the key points are unbroken chain, nobody manipulating the core meaning. People are trying to present the same intention as what Krishna wanted. For example, Krishna in chapter 12 said Bhakti Yoga is the highest. If some person has written that Jnana Yoga is the highest, that means they are distorting the meaning. If another person says Karma Yoga is the highest, there are some of my friends who argue, Bhakti Gitti Janta Nahi, just do your duty. So that means they have only Karma Yoga understanding. But Krishna is telling in chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga is the highest. If in one book, if they highlight Karma Yoga and say Bhakti is LKG, that means they are distorting the meaning. So these are all explanations which tell what is the right book. This is the Bhagavad Gita as it is, or Bhagavad Gita Yada Tadam, Bhagavad Gita Yada Rup. So I think I'm going to stop today. I know we spoke so much, little heavy dose today. I think I understood that one. Ideally, I should have done it in 2 parts, but I was a little over greedy to cover a lot in less time. Was that helpful? Was that understanding? You felt anywhere, is it too fast or pushing so much information in less time? Maybe we'll try to recollect a little more next week. Anyway, next week is a break because we are all having Dashara holidays. And based on Kali Yuga memory, by the time in 2 weeks we meet, we forget everything. At least if this last slide goes into our mind, and if we forget in the last 2 hours whatever we read, I am okay with that one. Because this is the result. If this picture is imprinted in our mind, which Gita and what is Krishna telling we need to follow, I think that's enough. If we forget even what last 2 hours, what we spoke also. Huh? This is written by Srila Prabhupada, who is the, yeah. Telugu and Hindi are translated, but basically meaning is not distorted. It's the same exact meaning into Telugu, into Gujarati. It's now in 100 languages, in French, German, Spanish, Afrikaans, even in Arabic. There are many books sold in Middle East. You'll be surprised. Bhagavad Gita is translated into Arabic also. More than 100 languages Bhagavad Gita is translated. And this is the best-selling book in the entire world than many other Bhagavad Gitas. This is the highest selling. So people don't think so much when they're trying to buy this book. Because other Bhagavad Gitas, people will just think, is it correct or not? At least who is sincere student will ask this question. But this book, it's considered as like authority. People will just take and start reading it. So that is the conclusion for today. We are trying to understand scriptures. So why are we trying to, the last 2 hours we spend, let's wrap up in 2 minutes. So why did we spend last 2 hours to discuss so much about why do people deny scriptures? What are scriptures are telling? Why, where are so many scriptures are there? What is the conclusion of all the scriptures? There are so many religions are there. What is the different level of understanding in different religions? And then finally, There are so many books, which book we need to read. And first of all, why do we need to even read scriptures? We also try to discuss that one so that we develop faith and understand. So we discuss a lot of topics today. So anything which you, in the last 2 hours we read, touched your heart, or anything you felt like, wow, I learned something new, you can share. Feel free to share.
To reach the God should not be habitual to get a lot of clarity. That's the reason we do. Understand this picture.
Perfect.
It has to be authentic.
Authentic. Perfect. Good. Until few years ago, I've read this one. I never understood about discipline succession. Earlier, if I see some saffron color, I used to read their books. Considering that that is everything. If I see some saffron, I used to buy that book, start reading. So I had a mixed vegetable khichdi in my brain. So it took quite some time for me to remove that khichdi and start accepting that this is the right path, this is the proper path. It took quite some time for me to accept it.
అంటే ప్రభుజీ స్వామి వివేకానంద కూడా రాశారు కదా.
Yeah. Yes.
సో అలాంటి చూసినప్పుడు మనం అంత గ్రేట్ పర్సన్ రాశారు కదా, సో అందులో ఎందుకు అది తప్పు రాసింది?
అంటే తప్పు ఉండకపోవచ్చు, but by reading that bit, probably you will not develop love for Krishna. You will have some philosophical understanding. There are many books you will start developing some philosophical understanding. You will get deeper clarity in Ashtanga Yoga, or you will start developing some more deeper clarity in a different. Pavan? ఇది కొంచెం సౌండ్ సరిచేయమ్మా. So we'll start developing deeper understanding of many things. But will it take to the final end result of going to the lotus feet of Krishna, Sarva Dharman Parityajya or not? I am unsure. I'm not questioning. I am unsure whether it will take to that one. But whereas coming from this parampara, coming from a devotee, there is a greater chance. For example, before going to the exams, which book will give me a greater chances of passing the exam? There are so many guides, so many books. Which book will take me there? Then they will say, this book is authentic. Take this book, it will connect you there. Like that, this book talks about Bhakti Marg. It focuses on God as a person. It focuses on the Bhakti Marg. It tells the importance of Guru. It tells the importance of Shastra. It tells the importance of Mahamantra. In different ways, it's trying to connect you. Not many books exactly talk from this topic per se. Please. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Next week we'll talk. Next session is that one. But I'll tell you very briefly. Please.
Generally, it should come in succession.
Yeah.
First Kruta Yuga, next
Yeah.
Treta. So Narasimha's name is not there. And Ramakrishna name is there.
Yeah.
And instead of Rama first Krishna.
I will explain all your questions in the next session. If we can bear, all these points will be next session. We are going to talk about two important aspects. The 4 pillars of Dharma and Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Why that mantra? Why not some other mantra? Why only that will in this Yuga? Why in Kali Yuga, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is considered as a Yuga Dharma? What is the Yuga Dharma of each Yuga? All these aspects, and why this Krishna first or Rama, all these aspects we are going to spend good 45 minutes to talk about that topic, and we'll spend 45 minutes to talk about 4 pillars of Dharma. That is the topic of next session. When we meet again on 28th, we'll discuss that one. Hare Krishna, anybody online have any specific questions? I hope you are able to follow, though you are a little away. Some of you are in different countries. Thank you for joining. Thank you for patiently being there. At least here we are seeing each other's face. So I don't know. Any specific questions, any specific inputs, points, comments? Any more questions? We'll stop. I think it's already 8:30. I went a little more than what I'm supposed to do. So let's sing this song in 2-3 minutes and we'll have dinner prasadam. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlaadaladadayine, Prahlaadaladadayine, Hiranyakasi Purvakshaha, Hiranyakasi Purvakshaha, Silatankanakalaye, Silatankanakalaye, Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha, Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha, Yeto Yeto Yami Tato Narasimha, Yeto Yeto Yami Tato Narasimha, Bahir Narasimha Hrudaye Narasimha, Bahir Narasimha Hrudaye Narasimha, Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapade, Narasingamadim Saranam Prapate, Tavakara Kamalavare Naka, Tavakara Kamalavare Naka, Adbhuta Sringa, Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubhrunga, Adbhuta Sringa, Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubhrunga, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadisa Hare, Jai Jagadisa Hare, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadisa Hare, Jai Jagadisa Hare, Jaya Narasingadev, 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 Jaya Narasingadev, Jaya Narasingadev, 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 Jaya Narasingadev, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Bhakti Vignanashaka Narasimha Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Brunda ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Abhaya Charana Aravinda Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, jai, jai. Vancha kalpatarupescha krupa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. So anybody online have any specific questions? I saw some chat. Sorry, I did not see the chat. Okay.
చాలా
Thank
బాగుంది
you all. Suri,
చాలా చక్కగా ఉంది హాయిగా ఉంది
thank you very
చాలా
much.
తెలుసుకుంటున్నాను బాగుంది 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 థ్యాంక్ యూ
He's
థ్యాంక్
my
యూ
classmate. We are like studying. He's my childhood classmate. He's just joined, and I have my sister there, and my friend's daughter is there. So it's interesting to have so many people of different ages, starting from teenage to somebody who is 60 and above are there. So if there are no questions, I just want to thank everybody, whoever is joined online. So We are going to have prasad here. You can have prasad at your home. Thank you. Any questions, you can post it in the group. We can discuss further. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.